Hell right, party. You're on your way to the Lost Wardens. You've got a friend who's showing you the only tracker on the island, a half-elf named Xylem. And as you're on your way to the Wardens, you see a boat coming your direction. It looks the same as that boat that came by a couple days ago. Well, it had the old man and his grandkids on it or whatever.
I'll wave
Looks like the same boat. I mean, it's way off. You know, you can see it out. You're not going to be able to properly communicate from here. You're
How can I
also
tell
like
it's the same
coming
boat?
around. Because it has that same sort of distinctive wobbly mast in it where like the mast is not held in place very much and just kind of like wiggles in the wind as it goes. It rocks more than the boat does. It's not great construction.
Is that the guy from before?
Does look kind of similar.
Probably is.
Well, if they're coming back, we should probably deal with them, right?
Deal with them? What do you mean?
Like, talk to them and get them out of here so they don't keep looking and digging around.
They're not going to trust us after we lied to them last time.
Neil, where are we, by the way, right now?
Yeah, if you look at the map, the party is coming around this section over... Actually, no, we've already come around. We're somewhere over here. We're near Moon Lake. We're on our way out to this peninsula. The boat is like, you know, a half mile out to sea. They might not be able to see you in and amongst the trees. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. The one good place to dock here would be at the town proper. There are little sandy beaches that you could pull up to all over this place, but like, you know, it's unlikely you would do that unless they were specifically wanting to come to the backside of the island and not to see people. So
is this the way of the other island?
Yeah, I think so, right? Like,
yeah. He was
Okay,
coming
that's
from
it.
this way, and then you had said that no, it must be the island on this side. Yeah.
Cool.
We left instructions with our townfolk on how to deal with these sort of things, to send people away. They know how to deal with this. Our people are not incompetent. We've already handled it once. The story was spread around. People know the story that was given to them. The worst case scenario is they'll tell them to wait until we return, or I return, or the mayor will handle it, right?
Yeah, the mayor's smart.
but Zephyr,
I don't think they're a big deal.
what if they land on one of the beaches here and don't come via the town?
Well, then they won't see anything, right?
Well, then they might get eaten by the goblins, and that's their own fault. They're not our people. We don't need to protect them.
All we worry about is them getting to the door in Eknara. We don't care about anything else, and we have our people in Eknara to stop that. I shrug.
Absolutely.
I think it's fine. We say this in whispered. No, because the
We don't
tracker
need-
is kind of in on it. I don't care. Never mind.
Yeah. I don't know how come. If they land here, we shouldn't just leave them. It's
No,
dangerous.
Zephyr, I think it's a brilliant idea as always. I think that what you said about that really resonated with me, and I'm totally on board with that plan.
Me too, Zephyr. You always have the greatest ideas. You're a great leader.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. We have bigger fish to fry, okay? If they want to sail around on their little boat, that's fine. We got bodies to bury. We got people to find. We got things to do.
We got goblins to kill.
Exactly. We got to keep the people of our island safe. I trust that the other wardens and the mayor will be able to deal with this problem, and if they can't, we'll deal with the fallout later.
I mean,
What can we
Yeah.
do? Like, you want to start swimming out to them? Like, what do you want to light?
no.
a fire?
I assume that they were closer in. You know, for where I was looking, you know, I could see their boat perfectly, and I knew who they were. So I was just assuming that I could, you know, see them. But it was just the light that was reflecting.
You've got eyes
So,
like an
no.
eagle, Cedric. You know, it's
Oh, yeah.
incredible.
100%.
I think we should just keep an eye on them. You know, if they land on this side of the island, I think we should have
We
another
should send them away.
conversation. Yeah.
Right on. Okay.
Because
half a mile.
if that's just some father and his son wanting to pay tribute or see what's going on, they know that there's goblins. We've told them that it's dangerous out here. If they land on the other side of this, then they're clearly not who they said they were, or
They might be a bit touched.
yeah, there's something going on there. So I think we should keep an eye out.
Do we think we could communicate them like half a mile away? Like, how far would a loud whistle carry across the ocean? You know? And I feel like a lot of these rural communities, whistling would be a pretty common way to communicate over long distances. Like, there would be like a "come here" whistle that would be like, or whatever. Like, you know what
I'll
I'm
need
saying?
to buy a whistle.
Yeah, over
you just
the
whistle.
ocean, it's going to be dependent on like breezes and winds and everything. So maybe not as effective as on land, or potentially more effective if the winds are going the right direction. Today is a clear day. I built up extensive tables for us. I've got moisture, temperature, and wind for every single day that we'll ever need.
I'm moist.
Also, cool. Also, the colder the day it is, the further sound carries. That's something
Well,
I've heard.
We don't. I mean, we can let them get a little bit closer. We don't need to try and whistle over half a mile.
I mean, why not try though? It's just a whistle, right? Ribbon.
Look, what would it achieve?
Get their
Get their
attention,
attention
get them to come in.
quicker?
Maybe they come here, they see the bodies of our fallen comrades, and maybe they're properly dissuaded.
They know
Why
that
not?
they've been noticed.
Very smart, Zephyr. Always with the thinking you.
Yeah,
This
if
is
we
like
could lead them,
low level.
if we could lead them to the bodies, I guess that might dissuade them.
Pretty low level thinking.
I think we should just keep an eye on them for now and carry on. I mean, I don't think we need to contact them while they're half a mile away. If they seem like
Also,
they're coming
if we
to
start-
land here, then we can deal with it.
If we start whistling, we'll also give up our position, right? If goblins are nearby, they'll hear the whistle. They might come.
But we need to kill them.
Let them come.
That's our job.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you
That's
would
what
protect
we're trying to
us
get them to
there.
come to us, right?
Yeah, Elijah, you could kill him, right?
That's right. Hey, goblins! We're over here.
We don't want to get surrounded.
Sort of, shh, quiet.
I start
Oh.
pinching my nose. I think it's very clear and it's very obvious what we need to do here. We need to focus on our mission. If we can protect them, or if they start getting close to land, we'll try to get their attention. But until then, they are second order priority compared to our people, our town, our secrets. We will protect them if we can, but I will always protect our own town over them. And we need to get those bodies home, and they need to be buried. We need to carry out our rights, and we need to do things properly.
I think,
There's no point in surviving if you don't do things properly.
I agree.
let's say, as we're walking along, let's say they get to the town and they go and they see the door. What are we going to do with them, Zephyr? How do we want to actually act?
We
If
confiscate
people
their boats.
find out and keep them here?
Yeah, I think if anyone sees the door and we've got a chance to stop them leaving, we should.
And we put them in
just-
like a dungeon, or
And we just explain to them the danger. I mean, I think that every one of these islands will understand if we say, if this gets back to the Varasi Empire, the secrets of the island are at risk for all of us. They'll understand that, and they might think themselves trustworthy, but we should be able to explain that we've got a policy of, listen, we didn't want you to see this for your own good, but now that you've seen it, you've got to stay here.
You're
And
in.
listen,
well,
I
exactly.
understand the suggestion. I think you make a lot of really good points. But what I wonder about is like, are we gonna keep them on the island like forever? Like at some point they're gonna like go home to their families and stuff.
I mean,
right?
what
I
if-
think if you know our secrets, you're either one of us or you're dead.
okay, because what I was gonna say is, what if, like, let's say we keep the father, the daughter, and the son here, right? They saw the door. Now, what if they send a search party? I mean, they're gonna be here, and we're not gonna be letting them leave.
Hey, so I actually have a suggestion, and Zephyr, I think everything you've done so far is really great, but have we considered putting like a thing over the door so that people don't immediately see it when they come?
We have.
Yes, we're building that actually.
we're
right
building
now.
that. Yeah.
Okay, good. Just because I was just checking in on how that was going.
We
because I knew
we're
that
working
we were
on
doing
uncovering and creating something to make it look like it's just rock.
that. Right.
Yeah,
That is
well,
being
that's-
made currently.
Our goal is to build basically a wooden shrine that covers up the doorway.
Yeah.
That just looks like
Yeah,
a cool thing.
obviously had that in mind, that project, and just making sure that we're making progress on that.
No,
and,
great idea, Elijah.
Yeah,
It is a really good idea. That was actually it was kind of a difficult few days for you, but back when the Godfall happened, when the meteor came, that was actually the first thing that I ordered people to do, was to A, excavate the door, and to B, cover it up.
Right.
The primary
Yeah.
goal was to cover up the meteor impact site, because that's the most obvious and easy thing to see. And then the second objective is to cover up where the doorway is. But
Godfall
first we
would
need
be
to
a-
excavate it.
Yeah, because we need to see what's on it. And now we know there's like there's something at the bottom. Also, Godfall would be a sick fucking D&D campaign name. Continuing.
That is a good name. It's been about 15 minutes since you spotted the boat, and you've been walking. And in those 15 minutes, you've gotten most of the way down this little peninsula here. And Xylem will, around now, begin to hush you guys and say, all right, we're almost near the end of the peninsula. The beaches, the bodies were down by the beach. I got onto the cliffs above them and looked down. I'm a hunter. I deal with dead things all the time. I don't want to get too close to these. Rumors of goblins and all this other stuff that had been going on. They just felt a little looked like they'd been ripped open by animals. But they also looked a little bit, I don't know. Like, I've seen bodies ripped apart by animals before. They're turned over in little husks or in little balls. They're knocked up against things as they're getting torn to shreds. These were just still out in the open. There's something, my hunting senses, maybe.
No, you did the right thing, Xylem. Always keep yourself alive, because while you're alive, you can protect the town. Your knowledge and skills are invaluable. You're good with a bow, right,
Overseer.
Xylem?
I'm not terrible.
Or throwing weapons. I would like to have you up on that cliff while we investigate the bodies. Looking out for us, covering for us, and supporting us if we do indeed get into trouble. Is that something you'd be willing and capable of doing?
How
can
far
do
is the
that.
cliff up? Are they going to be able to meaningfully get shots if goblins come?
Yeah, well, the cliff is maybe 15 feet up and only a few feet away from the bodies. Maybe
Oh, okay.
20, 30.
That's nothing. I thought I don't know why. In my mind, I thought a 50-foot cliff or a 100-foot cliff,
No.
Cool.
And
well,
we'll
I'm
leave we'll leave the body carriers with you until we're ready to move them. We need to do investigation first.
Right. The body carriers are going to hang back as the rest of the party approaches the cliffs. We don't want anyone who's not combat ready to get wounded here. Mm-hmm. So here's our map. We're over in this little area. Xylem is this hunter who's with you that I'm going to ping right here. And Xylem will say that it's just beyond this cliff where the bodies are, down on this little beachy area in front of you.
All right.
Okay.
I will go behind. I'll lead the back and Zephyr in the front.
Okay.
I was gonna suggest that
Go this way.
Cedric and Elijah could lead the way to the bodies, and I will protect Riven, or myself and Cedric could head down. Depends
Guys,
on-
I could stay on the cliff as well and use my sling.
I don't think that since the last time where you were shooting at us with the sling, that's a good idea.
Be more careful, but yeah, I think we'll leave Elijah on the cliff. I'll stay up with Elijah and the hunter to protect. Cedric,
I think Elijah should come up with us, though. I think it should be you, me, and Elijah go down.
Okay.
Riven can stay up here with their sling. The reason being is Elijah is the best swordsman we got.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
it would be
misspoke. I
wasted
meant to say-
potential for me not to be down there in the fray of the fight. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. I meant Riven stays up on the cliff. I apologize.
100%.
I misspoke. You're right. Thank you for correcting me. Cedric,
thank
well
you.
Done. You're a great follower, Cedric. I don't know what I would do without you. All right, we're all in agreement. Riven, are you comfortable staying up here?
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't be afraid to climb down if you get into trouble. It might be safer at the bottom of the cliff rather than at the top. We don't know what's out here. It could be nothing. It could be dangerous. Let's move out.
Let's
and I
go
think the
Riven,
party will-
you walk
slowly.
to the edge of the cliff?
No. I thought that was
Okay.
always happened, but I don't. Yeah.
Let's go slowly. Exactly the way that you're showing.
And
we're gonna
the
move
three of
in
you
a
are gonna-
line.
I'll be
Perfect.
in the back behind Elijah.
And I'll be in the front.
Perfect.
Neil, before we go, I would like. I've been
Mm-hmm.
here before. I've seen this place numerous times. I know the layout of the
Mm-hmm.
basically what I can see on the map. Riven would know. I
Mm-hmm.
assuming that if you were on the beach, the way they're going is the only way to get up here. Like you can't
There's
walk
like a
with it through
little.
here.
This is a cliff that's a bit of a bitch to climb. There's like a scramble up here, where that you could make up and down.
How defensible would that be if I was defending at the top of it?
If you were standing at the top of it, you'd definitely get high ground. And I would say they probably would have like if you're up on the top forcing them into the worst scramble spot, they would probably have a penalty of 2 to their AC and their melee attacks.
And they'd be forced
then-
into a one at a time kind of situation.
Yes.
Okay, good, thanks.
Unless they're like really small, like pixies or something, obviously.
All right,
The
we
pixie caveat.
sneak, Neil.
Yeah, we're going to carefully make our way around.
And I will
Carefully.
crawl to the front of the cliff with the bow guy.
Yeah. The 2 of you will make your way up this direction towards the cliffs. You guys will sneak coming around the corner slowly, keeping an eye out, and you'll spot the first body like right away. It's boom, right there. And from your position, Riven,
Yeah.
you can quickly gaze over and spot the other 3 corpses.
Okay.
Does it look like there's arrows in them?
Are there weapons taken?
Yes, there are no weapons. There are no shields. I'm just using regular tokens because that's who they are. But no
Yeah.
weapons, no shields.
Well,
armor
an
ripped
animal
off and
do
sort of
that, right?
scattered around. Well, they might not remove them, but they might like drag the bodies from one spot to another, then where the weapons just get left behind because they're not being gripped. Or weapons might just roll away because spears, like they can roll pretty easily. Even a good gust of wind on flat ground might roll a spear, let
Not
alone
as-
tides.
Not a shield, though. Are they metal shields or wooden shields?
They are backed with wood and fronted with metal.
As I
Okay.
see
heavy.
the bodies, my eyes are going to then go to the beach. Do I see any footprints anywhere? Like any... I guess I heard about the fish people. I'm actually concerned because we're so near the beach that this
Yeah.
is the fish people. So that's what I'm looking for. Any signs of like in and out of the water.
I checked down here, Neil, on this other cliff face down here. I look in these trees and the bushes, just make sure there's nobody hiding in ambush.
How do those dice sound when I roll them? Are they really
I didn't hear him.
Can't hear a
loud?
single.
That's
No,
such
we
a
didn't hear
bummer.
any. Yeah.
I need to get a second dice cam or mic.
A dice mic, yeah.
It's Discord muffling them and then.
It was Discord. Yeah.
Fucking Discord again.
So the tides in this area are cyclical, like in all other areas. You get high tides twice a day, low tides twice a day. We are currently near the end of the day.
Tides go in and out. You can't explain it.
We are on our way towards low tide right now. So you can see that there are indeed a couple of odd depressions in the sand. Now, you guys are looking for weird footprints, so I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you see something weird. It is a strange impression. You're a little bit paranoid. It's like maybe that is what a fishman footprint looks like. Or maybe there's like a seal who rolled up onto the beach and just left a strange mark. But you're looking for strange marks. So
Yeah.
like you're seeing
There is one, and I see something, so I'm going to point it out. Zephyr, do you see that? That looks like fisherman footprints.
Yeah, I look at it, and I say, oh, I'm actually not very familiar with fishmen. And I think back to my knowledge. Would I have seen this kind of thing before? Would I have seen a fisherman footprint before?
You know,
Would it have been described
you're
to me?
pretty at like 30 feet away looking at a depression in the sand. It's hard to get a good look. If you wanted to know if this is something you've seen before, you'd have to be like standing on top
Let's
of
get
it or right
closer.
next to it. But that means you're getting right near the water's edge.
That's
So
true,
I don't know
yeah.
if you want the information or if you're a little afraid of the risk.
Oh,
I
we don't want to
will-
get dragged into the water.
I will approach the water carefully with my shield up.
Same.
And like, I'm slowly getting closer and closer, and me and Cedric are protecting each other.
Shields up. I'm taking a defensive action, and we're
I'm
inspecting.
behind
I'm
them.
expecting
Okay.
to get attacked.
Yeah.
From the front.
You guys come up and approach.
This feels like it's.
So I'm, like, readying an attack?
Paranoia.
I'm watching their backs in case
Yeah.
something's trying to sneak up on them whilst they're distracted.
Give me a moment. I have to check a rule.
Physics.
This is one of those moments where
Oh.
you shouldn't cut out the things because we
Never
need
mind.
the
No.
tension.
Oh, the
Maybe.
tension.
The tension.
I could feel the tension in my bones.
I can feel it.
I'm tensing.
Um,
Wait, I have swimming.
Zephyr, you're
too.
a half elf, aren't you, Zephyr?
Yes, I am, good sir.
Half elves have infravision, resistance to sleep and charm. They can spot concealed or hidden doors just by passing with nearby. And I think a person hiding or something hiding is very similar to a hidden door. So as you approach to this, Zephyr, you
Oh,
have
you moved me a little more than I would want to move, but okay.
Oh, okay. No, you don't see anything. It's fine.
Okay, I take that step. Do the step.
Okay.
Yeah, we do the step. I'm readying an attack because I'm fully expecting something to come out.
Neil is very tricky with those little moves. He moves your token to a very dangerous location. And he's like, oh, as you move forward, walks you 30 feet into like the dragon's lair.
Yeah, there's a dragon in there. Like, who would have thunk it?
You know, do you ever, not your characters, but you guys in the real world have seen YouTube videos where like you're looking at some water and then they drop the water below the camera below the water and there's like a full crocodile hanging out there and just like its little eyes. Where this is sort of what's happening here, because there's water and there's like, you know, it's kind of crashing down. The tides are it's going to a lower tide, so the waves aren't super active right now, and there's some debris that floats around because, you know, it's a large lake. There's always debris floating around. Zephyr, your half-elven perceptive nature notices that like some of this debris is not bobbing correctly, like it's being weighted down a little bit oddly, and you're pretty certain that like that little bit of kelp is probably not a bit of kelp. That looks like a fleshy flap of something. You're pretty certain that there's something in the water, something living in the water right in front of you that's disguised as debris.
I whisper, something's not right. And am I in range to hit this thing?
No, you would have to wade like into the water to make any reasonable strikes.
What's not right?
And
Something's not
you're also
right.
not really certain where something would be. Like there's something odd here, but like, is the creature there, or is it 7 inches over, or is it a foot over?
I will start like thumping. Like, can I like splash my sword into the like? Is this a safe place to stand right here?
The water laps up and laps down. The area where you can see the water line right now is like the low mark of the water, so it will splash as each wave rolls in all the way up to where you are now, and then it'll roll back down.
Before you step up, I'll say, wait, what is it? Explain.
I said, I don't know. There's something not right. I think there's something there, and I start stamping my foot in the sand and trying to splash the water.
Well, then shouldn't we
Yeah.
back up, because that's where it wants us. It wants us in the water.
I feel
probably
like we'd be better off waiting at the shore.
Yeah. I'm going to
Elijah
take a
says
step back.
His
I'm
hubris
not
slowly
going-
leaving his body.
I'm not going into the water. What I'm doing is I'm stomping on the sand to try and see, like, can I get the thing to move, whatever the piece of debris is, right?
But you're
I'm
stomping
back,
on the
Zephyr.
sand on the shore, right? You're not stomping over here.
No. I'm not going in. I back
Oh,
up.
yeah. No. Yeah, so you just stomp on the ground a little bit. You splash a little bit of water as the waves come in. You splash some water, the waves go out. No changes.
Stay
Neil,
here, and I'll
is there
throw
any-
the body over.
Is there any
gonna-
chance that I know what's going on here? Can I hear what they're saying or interpret what they're doing? Obviously, I know what's happening, but Riven is on the
Right.
cliff.
I think the
with
two
you.
of you can see that they are suspicious about something because they're like approaching the water and like splashing, and then they back up together, but they're specifically whispering, so you're not aware of any of this.
I'm going to take out
Just,
a
you
coin
know.
and throw it at the thing that I can see.
Yeah.
Like, sheath my sword, take out a coin, throw it.
Give
I'm
me a
ready to attack for it to
1d20.
come out.
You want a 1d20? Oh, this is
Yeah.
what I'm good at. Roll 1d20. All right. I never miss. Okay. That's a 20. Boom. It's a 3.
Yeah, the coin chucks into the water.
You feel slightly less
It
rich.
goes in the water.
Of the copper. Okay. I'll call out to Riven.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, there's something suspicious about the water. It's like, looks like something that should move, but it isn't. Let's just move on and see if we can get these bodies up.
You stay here, Zephyr. I can move these bodies alone. Stay here and defend.
Zephyr, how far out?
Oh, it's like, how far was it, Neil? Like 5-10 feet?
Yeah. Yeah,
Can
somewhere just over here-ish.
If they
Just
can
on the
indicate
edge.
to me, yeah, I'm going to try and throw a slingshot down there, Neil.
Yeah.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna grab this body now.
Somewhere here. In this,
Yeah.
like,
Tell me which
box.
one of those boxes you want to target there, Riven.
Well, I only saw one box.
Well, yeah. Just tell me where on the map you're shooting.
Yeah, I mean, there's a box here. There's a box here. There's a
Oh,
box
I see.
here.
Yeah.
Dude,
Each
we're
of them are
literally
5
playing
feet,
Battleship.
You know, like
Yeah.
this one.
Which one?
Can you arrow it because someone has a line there and I can't see what's happening.
Like between these two.
I just pick one, please.
I pick in
That
the
one?
middle of the boxes.
Okay.
No, the
There
next
you
one.
go.
In the middle of
This
that
one?
and the next one. Between these two.
Oh my god, can you need to
I-
pick one square
Draw an
and
X.
just
I
show
hit-
me with an arrow what square you want to target.
There.
Draw an
I hit
X.
there.
You can't
Okay,
pick
who
both.
is fucking why are
Fine,
there
there.
two there's
I hit there.
There
who's
we
got
go.
the arrow? Who's got the arrow? Get rid of that.
Not me.
This is your X. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
12.
You splash your bullet into the water.
Okay.
Okay, I am picking up this body and I'm
Cedric.
lifting it on my back. Yeah.
Investigate it. What does it look like?
I'll check it.
Yeah, the body does look like it's been ripped apart. There's lots of little markings on it. Do you have? Let me take a look at your non-weapon proficiencies real quick here. Yeah, I need you to make me a wisdom check at -4. Nah, 17. No good. Yep, there's weird little bite marks all over it. Flesh has definitely been ripped away. It looks like it has been eaten, and like the straps of its armor have been broken or ripped off or worn away. You can't really make out too much in a cursory overview other than like he did and animals that got to him.
I am going to pick up this body and move it just like over to the scramble for now.
All right. You pick up the body and begin to move it to the scramble. And you guys are so cautious. You guys are all so on edge that there's absolutely no chance of surprise here. And all of your misgivings are 100% right. Because as you begin to like haul this body, creatures begin to arise from the water.
All right.
Cool. I drop it and get ready for combat.
Yeah. No surprise. Just straight up combat. Whoa, a little loud. There we go.
Initiative
All right,
then?
finally, Elijah
Initiative.
Evans.
One
in
initiative,
action
right?
again.
I yell, stand together. Get behind me.
We're all just rolling D20s. Remember, everyone, just a D20
Oh.
for initiative.
So I'll just take a 3 then.
I clicked the initiative
no,
button.
Cedric,
I don't know.
because you rolled a D10. The initiative button is what you want. You did good.
Oh, sorry.
I got a 16.
Are we high to low, Neil, or low to high?
We are high to low.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
I'll take a 13 base.
I'll take a 19.
Based. Wait, it fucked my audio level again.
Oh
Thanks.
my
You sound
God.
okay?
Yeah, you
Am
sound
I
fine.
not 10 dB quieter?
No, I would just continue.
Okay.
You're good, bro. Okay.
All right.
First up is Riven. You see these creatures just sort of like lift out of the water like Navy SEALs in a swamp from that one commercial from the 90s.
Yeah.
You guys know what
okay.
I'm talking about.
I do. Yeah, I do know, actually. Although, I think we had a version of that in England, because I remember it being SAS. Anyway, knowing that we're doing firing into combat rules now, I will take a shot whilst I can at the closest
Yes.
Meduda, who is within short range.
Yes, I believe.
And being on the high ground doesn't give me an advantage, right?
It does not.
I get a 6.
And a 6 is not a good enough shot. It whoosh right past the creature,
Oh.
bringing us to Elijah Evans.
That's him indeed. All right. Man, these look pretty gnarly. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I want to get like in the water with them.
I'd say that's pretty wise.
I think I'd like to position here and ready an attack. Is that possible?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
You'll need to give me like proper conditions for when your attack goes off. So it's like
Yeah,
when
I'm
someone
just rolling,
steps
like, a
adjacent to
regular-
you, the first
like a
creature that
melee
steps.
attack. Yeah, as soon as he's
Yeah.
in my range, I'm gonna attack.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, the first one of these creatures is going to not quite flop on shore, but like come on with his big flappy fishy feet going slop, slop, slop. They look a little, I'm going to show you an image just through my webcam. The webcam doesn't like it.
Ooh, nice.
Webcam really doesn't like it. That's unfortunate. It's a nice fish boy.
I got a good
I
shot
can
of
see.
it.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Okay, yeah. He slaps his feet on shore, coming straight forward, which will bring him right into range for Elijah. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Why even bother? Just give him the crit.
Oh,
It's a miss. The rapier comes out. The aggressive fishman quickly parts your blade to one side with their spear before beginning to plunge it in the direction of Zephyr.
Elijah
It
looks
is-
visibly confused at having missed that.
Yeah.
It is a 12 against Zephyr's 15 AC. Not even close.
Shouldn't Zephyr have
Leaving
more?
us with
it's gonna be
Cedric.
17.
Wait, Neil, you also didn't roll initiative for the archer?
That's right. And somehow the initiative order, did someone change their initiative after we reordered it?
Me,
Because
my
Zephyr's in the
initiative was
wrong spot.
My
Well, I'm just going to
initiative's
put you
over
at
for me.
12 now, and
Wait, it
that
was meant to be
way everything makes
16.
sense.
You should.
Yeah, but it came in late, and now it's just
No,
late.
it didn't come in late.
Hey,
I did it. Look.
It doesn't matter. You're going right after me, anyways.
you're going right after. Cedric, take a turn.
I'm gonna go up here, and I'm gonna ready an attack for the next one. Who
All
comes in?
right. Zephyr Shepherd,
I take a schwang.
leader
with
of
my-
men.
I take a schwang with my arming sword.
And non-binary half elves.
Hi-ya!
Yes.
8.
8 is again a wild miss. This creature barely has to, move its bendy knees down to duck underneath the incoming blow. Xylem will take a bow shot, which is a 12. The arrow will come and skid right near the fish person's face, but not actually cut through their
Interesting.
skin on a 12, leaving us with the last guy who will flop right to here in range of MrMouton.
Miss.
And they will shove their spear towards Cedric's body with a 14 to hit.
Miss.
Okay.
But he's missing.
Uh-huh.
Top of the initiative order.
That's right. No one has to re-roll initiative at all. Riven, you'll start us off again.
Yeah, so just to clarify, I would now be more likely to hit my own team than I would be to hit the enemies, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you targeted
This guy,
this
it would
one
be
over
50,
here,
50.
it'd be 50-50 because they're medium-sized creatures, and there's these bodies in the way, and everyone's moving around. They're not just standing still.
Having
tough
high
firing into
ground
melee.
doesn't help in this regard. I feel like it could potentially.
Bow shots are not... Missile weapons are not increased by high ground.
No,
melee
I
are.
don't mean not increased in terms of being able to hit, but making it more likely to be able to target, because I've got a top-down view more than a just firing into it kind of like horizontally. I feel like it could help with picking a target. But just a thought.
I think we're going to say no on that. It's going to be... Yeah, that's a negatory.
I will hold my action to see if another one appears from perhaps this beach over here or from the sea, and then I'll take an attack.
Right. It's been a while since we played Floating Fortress. We're not holding actions. It's your turn. You take your turn. If you ready a shot for
That's what I'm saying. Sorry, I'll ready a shot if I see
Okay,
one.
but you're gonna have to ready for a specific thing, ready for
If I see
someone.
another one come out of the sea.
Okay, so you're gonna ready for something over in this area, which means that if there's an opportunity on your left side, you're not paying attention. Where we need to be a little bit more specific, otherwise ready gets to be OP. It becomes
Well,
a chain of readied actions.
Hang on, I don't want to slow things down, but I feel like I
No,
should be
this
able
is-
to ready an attack in two areas that are within vision. I'd agree if I had to turn to see the second place, but I think from here I've got vision on both.
The ready action, defined in the combat and tactics, very specifically calls out that you are preparing for one area to react when something happens there, and that you're not going to be able to cover multiple areas with a ready to action. Otherwise, everyone is just full Overwatch all the time, and you get a, what do you call it? An XCOM 2 situation.
So how specific is it then?
That's what I'm double checking right now. I think the combat and tactics says a specific square. I feel like a little bit more than that is entitled to, like that little beachfront on the top, or that little beachfront on the right. I feel comfortable with that level of zoning.
Okay, I'm gonna check this side then.
Okay.
Is this side the right side?
The right
You said
side.
this side, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now, small technical problem. I'm seeing a blue arrow
Yeah, I'm
coming
still
from
seeing
Riven
that
towards
too.
the sea. Do you have a blue arrow active, Riven, on your screen?
Yes, I see it too.
Is that
Is it
your arrow?
potatoes?
I don't know. Don't think it is. Oh,
Oh, we're good.
It's gone now.
So wait, you're doing the right
I
side?
think there might be something sticky going on there.
Yeah, something
this
is
side.
getting stuck somehow. Okay. All right, but you're doing the right side. Cool. Sorry for the technical stuff. Always need to adjust. Perfect. You are covering the right beach. Elijah Evans will take a turn.
All right. You're on the shore. I mean, one miss is fine, but I'm sure he'll regain his form right now. He's not lost confidence or hope. It was a fluke.
It happened to the best of us.
The guy up there is in range, right? I can just attack him.
Yeah, no
Try to
need
stab him
for
with my
anything.
rapier.
Oh, of course you hit. I mean, it was a fluke. It was a weird little moment. Let's not think about it too much. 2 points of damage as your rapier cuts through scales and shows the pinky flesh underneath already. So you do 2 damage to the weird fishman person. And Riven's careful planning pays off, because on the other side, the other beach, out
right.
comes another one of these creatures who begins to, it's probably like a sprint for this fish person, but it's not actually particularly fast right now.
okay, they're pretty slow on land. I'm understanding that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know actually. All right, I'll take a shot at this guy then as he comes in.
Go ahead and take a shot as they cross through your covered area, and it's a.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say it doesn't clear by 5.
Oh,
but
shit.
I will say that this creature is unaware of your presence coming from this direction, so I'm going to actually give you a surprise and flanking bonus on
Let's
this, which will
go.
increase that to a 21. That's only fair in this situation,
Yeah.
so it will be a crit.
Boom. 4 damage.
Fuck yeah.
Not enough to kill it, but the blow will actually strike it as it's coming out of the water, right? It'll get to about here, take the blow, and
might say,
still,
"Fuck
while
it."
moving, might not want to stick around. Question is, do these things fight to the death?
You could
Or
just
are these
pivot and
things-
dive off the edge here.
Yeah.
You do a little flop.
This creature will continue its full movement. I have to get its full movement again now. Flop, 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 flop. Oh, it's
my
60,
God.
70, 80.
Okay, so
Nope,
just
nope,
to clarify,
nope.
it's
Too much, there we go.
sprinting there. That so if it was in combat, it would move a third of that.
It performed a move action. It
Okay.
did not perform
Okay,
a run
okay.
action.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Elijah. Now it's this next one's turn. This one right here has been stabbed by the great and powerful Elijah. And so turning its attention towards the only real threat nearby, it
right.
shoves its spear into Elijah's gut with a 9 to hit. Elijah, this old training that you never wanted to do, it's coming back to you, and it's
That's
so
right.
useful. It's so fucking useful. Cedric.
I attack the guy in front of me, but before I do that, I start a chant
Oh.
of peace.
And what does the
No,
chant
a chant of
peace do?
protection. I'm gonna do a chant of protection, which will give everybody in my AOE 1 temporary HP.
Okay, that is you, and that is the Sahoquin, and that is Elijah. I'm gonna give you guys little red dots.
Yep. So here's my attack with my mace.
Mm-hmm.
A natural 20.
Oh, baby.
That is
So
a crit.
2d6
All right.
Yeah.
for 6 damage.
And
fucking
that
go.
will do it. Right through that temporary HP and smashes the fishman's brains. The whole thing just hits the dust and is
All
done.
right.
Leaving us with...
I have movement
Zeph-
still.
Yes, you do.
I'm going to take a step back and turn. That's it.
All right. Zephyr.
Sure. I'm going to start a chant of peace, which lowers all chance to hit, and I'm going to take one step to the left
Oh.
so that Elijah is not affected by it. And then I'm going to make an attack
right.
action on this dude at -1 because I am also benefiting from the chant of peace, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Yes.
Mhm.
12.
12 is close, but no cigar. Your blade will scrape once again across the scales here, and you can see the flesh bending a little bit underneath it and then sliding away. Leaving us with Xylem, who is going to take a shot at the incoming fish person, but is going to need to move to the side to get a clear shot first.
That's a good
And they'll
shot.
roll a natural 1. Not doing so hot. And our next 2 will come out of the water.
Come on, Nick. You got to kill him.
Flop, 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 flop. All the way up to here. 1, 2, 3. And this one's... Oops. This one's dead. And that'll leave us with Riven.
Okay, coming
fish are
here.
coming.
I will shoot the low health one that I hit last time.
Excellent. Another bullet in the sling. You got
Unlucky.
flanking. It's a 7. It's no good. Elijah.
I'm gonna swing my rapier again with full confidence that Elijah, the greatest swordsman on this entire island, is back. The guy who's in range, obviously. A 14, Neil.
14.
A 14. You swing that rapier. It smashes the creature right in the side and comes away clean. Its scales are
Ooh.
tough, are real tough. The 14
15
does
AC at
nothing to
least.
it.
This is not a good fight.
Right. The next one, still wounded, badly wounded, but in the fight anyway, comes up to Cedric. Will attack, making a 16 to hit.
It's a hit.
It's a hit. And they will do with their spear a nasty 2d4.
Ooh.
The God Spear.
The fucking uber spear.
6 points of damage to you, Cedric.
So it's going to be
minus
5, right?
Right. Because you had the temporary HP.
So I'm at 2 HP. Okay. These guys are
Don't worry,
not to be fucked with.
I've got an ace up my sleeve.
This one
Right,
up here is going to trident at Elijah with
No
a
chance.
7. Because he's got
No
-1 to
chance.
hit. No chance at all. Cedric,
I'm
wounded.
attacking.
Your HP
I'm
refreshes.
Still chanting. So I'm up to 3?
Yeah, I'm just putting the red dot for the temp.
Okay. Here you go. 11. It's a miss.
Not so good. Not so good, Zephyr.
I will. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a swing at the guy that I am attacking. So here you go. Here's a swing. It's a 14. It was a 13.
Miss.
Not good enough. Xylem will take a bow shot, one of the upcoming people, with a natural 20. Finally hitting something worth a damn. And doing 12 points of damage.
Ooh, sick.
Shit.
right in the
Dropping
head. Oh my
this
god.
Sahogwen down quite a lot.
Holy.
They're not even dead though? That's
What the
Not this
fuck?
one.
yeah, that
One
one's
must have rolled
crazy.
very high.
That's a God.
Finally,
side one.
flip, flop, flip, flop. Trying to get closer just to here. Yeah.
Yep.
And take a stab towards you with a 6 to hit. No good.
Miss.
And our last one is going to come this way and come up behind Elijah, getting that +2 to hit from behind
Shut
for a
up,
modified
man.
15, striking you, Elijah, for 2d4 points of damage. It's going to be 5 minus the 1 temporary is going to be 4 to you.
That's really bad.
Oh shit!
Nick's
That's
got
what I
something
do, guys.
cooking.
Yeah, it's not a permanent solution, but it might help.
Elijah being seriously wounded for the first time during combat is taken quite aback by this, and he doesn't like this.
Doesn't like that one bit.
Nope.
You don't like the pain?
Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, it really hurts, guys. Ah, it really hurts.
Okay. I summon my magical capabilities, and I will cast Taunt at the 4 fishmen, and I'll say, "Get your asses up here! I need a new pair of shoes." And I'm going to target all 4 of these guys. And my hope is that they'll provoke some attacks opportunity and waste a bunch of turns getting up to me, and then me and Xylem can climb down.
That's a
beach.
Because this attacks a type of creature, so you can just AoE the whole thing and target the Sagwin. They don't need to hear you or to understand you.
Nope.
And so they will get saving throws. 17's on the edge. I'll look it up. 1, 2, 3 fails, and a 17 is a pass. So the top one, the one that's fighting Zephyr, is unaffected. The other 3, as you taunt, you can kind of see their body posture switch. They're like hunch their shoulders. They've got this like ridge. I'm going to blow up one of these guys to make them bigger so you can see for a moment. They've got this like ridge that comes down their back with little spines and skin, and the skin that sits between these flaps begins to like sink down, making each spine protrude a little bit more as they bristle with anticipation.
I say to Xylem, they're coming for us. Take a few shots and let's climb down the cliff before they get here.
Okay. Do you move? Or are you going to stay in place?
No, I'm just going to stay here. I'm expecting to get... Actually, I might come like here.
All right.
Yeah, because they'll probably be around there. Yeah.
Elijah, it's your turn. There's one guy in front of you, one guy behind you.
Well, either way, one of them's gonna have my back, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But if you turn, you provoke an attack of opportunity, right?
Yeah.
that's correct. Well, I guess the smartest way thing is just to not turn and just give the one guy. I'm just not doing a lot of damage, guys, is the problem.
If
Who knew?
high AC.
I'm also like very low on HP. I'm actually in a really bad spot.
Yeah.
3 of them are taunted at least.
Yeah, the 3 behind you are going to come for us, I think.
Yeah.
So you should be able to hopefully just hit the guy in front of you.
Yep. Sounds like
Just hit a
that's what
20
we're gonna
here.
do.
Or an 18.
Bonk him. Get him.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bonk him. I was looking, but it's no use. We just bonk him with a 17.
Nice.
A little
It's a
17 for
beautiful
finally
bonk.
some fucking damage.
100% of their
Oh, yeah.
remaining HP.
We're back,
and the
baby.
creature
Holy shit.
crumbles.
Oh fuck! I still got. Wait, fuck! Oh god! It still really hurts, guys. I think I'm done. We need to get out of, guys. Ah, fuck!
Hold strong, Elijah. The people of where are we from? Aknara
Aknara.
depend on you.
Right, I got you. I got you, Zephyr. Fuck!
The Sagwin against near Cedric ignores you, Cedric, completely and starts running in the
Attack of
direction of
opportunity?
Zephyr. Yes.
Riven.
Not Zephyr, I'm sorry, Riven.
14 plus
+2 for back attack is a hit.
16 for 9.
Yeah.
Bam! Crushing the creature. It crumbles beneath the might of your mace. Does not make it that far. It gets to about here before they're dead.
That was the best spell I've ever seen Nick pull off in a campaign. I just
Shut up. Neil, realizing that they're attempting to climb up here, instead of thinking I'm going to shoot them, I get ready to stop them getting up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cedric,
I
it's your
attack the
turn.
next guy who's low in front of me, who got an arrow in him.
Yeah.
Natural one.
No way. Zephyr, do you keep your chant of peace going?
Absolutely, and I'm gonna zip, zap, zoop to this tile if I can,
Smart.
and then I'm gonna bonk him. He is now taking -1 to hit. That's fine. Badoosh, 11, 10 to hit.
No
Back
good.
attack.
2 for back attack, still not good enough.
Yeah.
None of their ACs from
Xylem-
Dex, no?
No way.
Nope.
They're fishermen.
Nope.
Not out of water.
Yeah.
Xylem is going to come over here and is
don't
going
do that,
to
bitch.
specifically cover anyone entering this little section right here,
That's actually good, yeah.
leaving this person who will head off in this direction.
Do I get another
first
attack of opportunity? Or
provoking
no?
attack from Cedric, yeah.
How many do I get around?
I will look it up
You'll look it
in
up.
just a
It's
minute.
more than one.
Yeah.
17.
Yes, 17's a hit.
For
Oh.
9.
Fuck
Another
yeah.
max damage. Doesn't even get close enough to Zephyr to trigger Zephyr's opportunity attack and drops
bonking
dead.
him.
Leaving us with the last one, who is also taunted and is going to run like this, provoking opportunity attacks from all three of you.
That's a friggin' loot.
12's a miss.
Bonk.
Miss.
16
Elijah,
hits.
that becomes a 16, is a hit.
4 damage.
For 4, and the temporary HP will be lost
On
already
Xylem.
before they
Bow
exit your
attack?
range.
Xylem gets their shot.
Xylem will get their shot. The D20, it's a 9. No good.
I like to imagine that every time Elijah makes an attack like this, it's like a spirit of someone else possesses him. Like he's not even actively thinking about the fact that he's stabbing at this random running away lizard. It's just like for a second he like loses this personality of a 45-year-old accountant. He just becomes a sword fighter and out of instinct stabs, and then he realizes what he's done. He's like, "What the fuck?"
A hand of
They-
God possessing
this-
you.
Do they get
The
to me to attack? Yeah.
Yeah, he scrambles up here. He's going to get a -2 to attack you from this awkward scramble position. And they will roll a modified 9. Not good enough today.
Nice.
Leaving us with Riven. It is your turn.
Okay, I will draw my short sword and take an attack. I get a +2 for high ground and them
One
climbing.
for
or-
high ground, and their awkwardness is lowering their AC by 2.
Okay. I make my attack. 19.
Oh, beautiful.
Is that a crit?
Does not. It needs to be a natural 18.
Oh, yeah. 6 damage.
And that'll
Fuck
do
yeah.
We
Let's
did it.
go.
it. It goes down. And
Do
moments
the bodies of these
pass.
creatures disappear?
Oh, yeah, good point. They disappear.
No. These ones don't
Hey.
disappear.
After a few moments waiting, I kick this guy back down the thing, and then I jump down afterwards.
Wait, get the bodies. These can be used for leatherworking. We can make armor for our people.
All right.
I'd say not knowing 100%, but like I would assume, scale mail.
Potentially.
never-
yeah.
We've never had meat
other-
or resources like this, so it may be worth it to bring
Yeah.
it back and see what we can make of it.
When we do have body carriers with us, we might struggle to take all of them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you brought
my
body carriers
oh,
for 3 people.
How
sorry,
big are these
just opened
fish
up real quick.
boys?
Ooh. Before I close their page, they are medium-sized creature, between 6 and 9 feet tall. So
we need to
medium
get
to
a wagon.
large.
What's the what's
So-
the carry? Like, what's their poundage?
Somewhere between 180 would be on the lower end of these people, and that one that had like a bajillion hit points probably is closer to like 300 pounds.
Okay, Cedric, do you think you could carry one of these back?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my hand on my friend Elijah. Are you hurt?
Fuck yeah! It hurts really bad, dude. Fuck.
I'm gonna heal you for
I
one
think they got
d8.
like my kidney or something. Can you wait? Actually, I can't look. Don't look. Don't look.
unlucky.
No.
Unlucky. I heal you for 1.
I mean, that feels a little better. Thanks. I think it's. Oh fuck! Is it broken? I can't really.
They come over to Elijah. They seem in pain, so Elijah, here, come and sit next to these rocks over here. I'll bandage you up.
Yes, sitting sounds real good.
I help Elijah over here, Neil, so that he can.
You shouldn't be near the beach.
Yeah, we don't know if there's more.
Sorry, Elijah. Let's go to these rocks over here. I like help him like put his arm over my shoulder
Right.
and kind of like
Yeah,
move him over here.
We borrowed a wagon, didn't we? Because we were gonna bring the bodies back.
You brought body carriers, but I think the
body
wagon
carriers.
was too awkward.
Body carriers is 100%. That's fine.
Can you move Elijah's token, please, or one of you?
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Over here. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. I
There we go.
will like tear a bit off my shirt to bandage the wound.
Your very open shirt.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
We don't have. You can't be healed by both our treat wounds, right? Only one of them.
No.
One a day.
Correct. Yeah. Unfortunate.
Yeah, no worries.
Help me, Zephyr, start moving the bodies up away from this godforsaken beach, including the what are these called? Do we have a name?
Fishman?
Yeah, including the fishmen. We want these scales.
Yeah,
So,
we'll start moving them up.
I'm gonna start
does-
from the furthest.
Does animal law cover these guys or not?
No shot, right?
No, you'd need folklore at best. Animals more for natural creatures. These are.
Can I
And,
roll a
uh,
folklore?
My toxicology skill tells me nothing about these guys.
Give me an inspection of them, and maybe you can see if there's any venom in them or something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah,
Do you
I'll
have
check it
folklore
out.
on my folklore?
Once I'm
Yeah, I
done with
do.
Elijah.
Yeah. So Cedric, you have folklore as a skill. It covers monsters, undead, like it covers all the myths and legends and creepy crawly things. And you have heard of various types of fish people. There are a couple of different races out there, they say. Sahuagin are the term that you're using for the ones that may or may not be in the nearby area. So these could be Sahuagin. There are no fishmen in this lake ever. That's never been ever found. So these must be coming from outside of the lake. But, a little bit of ways. There's an island chain nearby called the Dardennes. And, out there, these sorts of things exist.
Has the death reference?
There are also, there's another race of sort of fishy people, sea elves. They're like elves, but sort of scaly with webbed everything and come out of the sea. But they don't have this same level of, or you don't expect them to have this level of spines and gills. But also, you've never really seen a sea elf before, so maybe. I think there's another that you might know about. That's the one. Yeah, the Kuatoa. Also another fishman species. The difference between Kuatoa and Sahuagin aren't particularly clear. You probably use them interchangeably, but they are called out specifically as a separate species.
Okay. Have I ever heard of people wearing Sahuagin or fish people's scales as armor?
You rolled a 25? No, that's never come
they
up
had
in
tough
any of your
scales.
stories.
We're gonna take them anyways. Fuck it. I'm gonna start grabbing them.
Cool. You
I
can
can't
carry
move the people mechanically, so
right, but I think you can carry one back to base.
yeah. My goal is to just move everybody away from this beach, and then we'll store them, and then we'll come back.
Okay. Yep. Everything can be moved.
I mean, wait, Cedric's the blacksmith, so he should know whether or not these can be used to make armor.
Blacksmith and leatherworking are different.
Yeah.
So I'll ask our guide. Are you by any chance a leatherworker?
Nope. I'm a hunter.
I nod. I just, I kind of figured. Who is the leatherworker in the town? We don't have one.
Did they die?
I would. Riven would know if there's a leather worker. So would Zephyr probably.
Let me just double check our. Yeah, you don't have anyone who works leather. You don't actually have a lot of leather production on this
Yeah.
island. You have some sheep, and you'll probably get sheep. You'll get wool and that sort of thing, but not a lot of sheep leather for stuff. That's
So-
one of your imports.
As Cedric asks Xylem that, I say, Cedric, I don't think anyone in the town knows how to make leather armor. We don't
There's
really.
a town nearby, I assume, who does. We could send the mayor on an expedition to take these over, and I shrug. Get them made, sell them. They're probably valuable.
Shrugs. But perhaps, yeah. I mean, maybe we could take the scales off ourselves rather than send the rotten corpses of these things across the sea.
What
I
is
nod
the
to that.
purpose of taking the scales off of the
Well, I think that we could
Fish
use
creatures?
these, Zephyr, to make armor. I mean, they were incredibly hard to cut through ourselves. Not armor for us, per se, but maybe armor for future villagers. I shrug.
Well, you know,
That's an excellent point. We should bring one home, almost certainly for experimentation. I don't know if we have the skills for skinning. Does anyone here know how to skin things effectively?
Xylem puts their hand up. I'm a hunter. I can skin. I've never done anything like this, but it'll
you think
take
you
a
could give
couple
it a shot?
hours to skin one of these suckers. There's
All right.
what,
Well, I think
five
we
of
should.
them?
Yeah, we should move them kind of far away. I can do it while you guys move these bodies, and then we'll leave them in a spot and we'll come back for them. We're near Moon Lake, correct? We could put them inside Moon Lake. We could put one of their spears in them to keep them in the water so that they don't rot. I kind of shrug.
One option we have is how long is left in the day, Neil?
About halfway.
yeah, I agree. Why don't we camp here for the night and let
We can camp
Xylem
here
skin
for the
them?
night, and
Yeah, that's fine, I'm fine with
Xylem can work. We can work with Xylem to speed up the process too. I'm sure there's like easy cuts that don't require a lot of skill, like if we're just chopping off hands and stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll get those bodies wrapped up, prepared to go home, and then we'll assist Xylem with the skinning process. How's that sound for everybody? Camp here.
Sounds great.
So I think it sounds like a great plan. Don't get me wrong, but personally, I got really hurt back there, and also this whole thing is a little gruesome. Like we're skinning them and like pulling their skin and then seeing them
Elijah,
without. I don't think I can
it's-
really. It's not that I don't. It's more like I got like a weak stomach thing,
You don't have to skin them.
and
How
I
about
would
you make us
rather.
dinner?
It also they smell really bad, guys. That it's like it smells like rotten fish all over, and I think I'm gonna throw up. And I need a
Elijah
second.
actually makes a surprisingly good point here about the fact that we don't want to be spending all of our time here. The village needs us. And I'll kind of put my hand on Elijah's shoulder and say, you did great today, kid. Let me take it from here. Perhaps we should skin one of them so that we have a skin, because we don't have the skills, knowledge, or technology to even process and preserve these. So my compromise with the party is that we skin one and we bring back one body, but otherwise we get moving tonight.
I think, these are pretty heavy. I don't know if we'll make it back to town tonight if we try and carry one of these things, plus those other 3 bodies. We might end up camping out here anyway, in which case, maybe we should just camp and skin them.
I think I agree with Zephyr, honestly.
But we don't really have the capability. We don't even know if we can use these. We could be spending
I
a
mean,
lot of time and hours and time and energy on this endeavor and end up with a big pile of fish skin that we drape over a horse, and the horse hates it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's. I agree with you. It's an incredible resource, but a resource requires technology and skills to make use of. Like,
Well, then let's skin that one. I point to the big one with like 20 fucking HP. Let's skin him. His scales look a little different anyways, and let's bring him back.
Okay.
perfect.
And then I'll stack all the bodies on the body carrier. I'll bring the big guy up myself.
The body carrier is
and
just
then-
3 people,
No. It was 2 to 3 people per body is what we brought. I was specific about that.
Yep.
So
All right.
then,
each of the dead wardens can be given to their respective body carriers. And Cedric, you're taking.
I'm taking the big fish guy.
All right, the biggest fish guy that you can carry and still move at a reasonable pace.
No, I'm taking the big one because we're gonna skin him.
You're gonna skin him right now.
We're gonna skin the
Yeah,
big
that's
one
what I
and
thought.
then
We're gonna
move out.
skin the big one and then move out, and I'll take the skinnings.
Okay.
Well,
you're
you're
gonna have to
be a few hundred pounds.
Yeah, you won't get back home until tomorrow then.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
We
it took
might,
half your day to get here, and so if you're going to stay and skin, it'll take hours. The bigger one, the longer, right?
Yeah,
and
but
then
we'll get
you'll
home
just have to
early,
camp
right?
overnight.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine. But
We'll get
I
home
don't
in the
think we
morning
should
early.
sit here and skin every single one of them.
I agree.
I think it's just
How are we
perfect.
gonna preserve all this skin?
We're just doing one.
We're just doing one.
Okay. Oh, like a
Alright.
whole body of skin?
Yeah, it's just a fish guy, man. Just a fish man.
Fish notoriously easy to preserve.
Yes.
Okay.
Xylem looks very unhappy with this task, but swallows their pride and all of their weird feelings, and gets to pulling out their hunting knives and cutting the skin off these things. And will be saying to themselves like,
as they pull out their knife to do this, Elijah kind of walks past like, "Good job, kiddo. You got this." And he like goes around a corner where he doesn't have to fucking see or smell any of this, and lays against the wall here.
Do you think
you
we can
just
eat
hear-
this? I ask her.
Why don't you find out?
I'll eat it. Yeah, I'll try it. I'll cook them up.
Fuck, man.
The body carriers look. I mean, they're monsters. They're fish monsters, but they're like bipedal. They got like hands and knees and shit. And as you're like hacking
Cedric,
flesh off this thing, there's just sort of this awkwardness in the air because they're humanoid, and maybe you can eat goblins, you know. But even eating dogs is considered weird, and cats are weird. So like, this is a bit odd to some of the locals, but it's also a strange new occurrence. No one's ever seen it before. So no one says anything. No one remotely stops you or questions you.
I cut a fillet,
Plenty of
and I'm
people
gonna cook them up
look on in curiosity.
in a skewer. I'm gonna do like a
I
fish
addressed the-
skewer.
I address the people looking on. I'm like, we might be fighting a lot more of these in the future. We don't know, and might not be able to get meat. So if this is edible, we might be eating on these things for a while.
This could help feed the village.
It's a bit risky though. It could be toxic.
Yeah, I would
Sure.
recommend keeping a very small. Eating
I'll
very
eat a
small
little
amount of
bit
that fat.
first, and then we'll see. Yeah.
What are you guys doing over there? Are you guys eating the... Jesus Christ, man.
I'm not gonna
This-
eat that.
I'm not eating it.
I'm gonna eat some because you know what? I watched an anime recently called
Oh, it's so good. I know the one you talk about. The
it's
gourmet
the dungeon eating
eater?
one.
Yeah.
Good anime. And you know what? I think that we need to eat more monsters in campaigns. I feel like that's a thing that doesn't get shown enough. Of these are real fucking monsters, and like in Cosmo's Kitchen, these things have tastes, and they taste interestingly. And sure, some might be poisonous, but do I think the fish guy is probably poisonous? Probably not. And if he is, he's just gonna hurt
Probably
my tummy
full
a
of
little
parasites.
Yeah.
Just saying.
bit. Which is why I'm cooking them up.
I would like to, Neil, use my toxicology skill on the meat to look for parasites or any obvious signs that it might not be safe to eat.
Yeah.
I
So
feel like
first off,
that can be used.
because you wanted to inspect them for this,
Yeah.
you can see that the teeth have no like spots in them where venom would leak out. So you're pretty positive that these are not venomous creatures at all, which is a good sign. As you peruse through the flesh with what, like a pokey knife or something, then you
Yeah.
kind of dig around.
Do you want
Make
to check?
me a toxicology
Yeah.
check, please.
Let's
'cause
go,
This is a
Nick.
new creature.
No.
You don't notice any signs of parasites based on the parasites that you would be familiar with. So if they do have some sort of weird parasitic thing, it must be something that is completely foreign to you. But you know the sorts of parasites that live in the area and the sorts of poisonous things that live in the area. Although I don't know if, yeah. So it'd have to be a strange foreign thing.
And here's the
This
most
would be a
important
great
question:
way to go.
is the meat more like fish or more like,
Chicken.
like a pig
Pork?
or a steak? Or is it a weird middle
It's
ground,
not
like
really
crocodile?
like either. Yeah. It's got like these long, sinewy, fast twitch muscles like you might see. I mean, everything has fast twitch muscles, but it's got like sort of a sinewy, long, fibrous muscle like you might find in sheep. But then it also has this like paleness to it and this sort of stench and coolness to it that you would find from fishy creatures. It sits in between the two.
So I take the piece of meat back to Cedric and I say, I don't know that it's toxic, Cedric, but I don't think it's going to taste very good. But I'd start small if I were you.
The fucking
What do we
spirit
roll
of
for
draw
grub
razor
skill?
entering Cedric
3d8?
right now.
36.
3d6.
I got 9.
I would like
Alright,
to bless. I would like to bless Xylem and assist them with the butchering, and I don't even want to know about this eating thing.
Okay, you guys are crazy. We need to eat these things. We gotta.
We've got rations, man.
I know, but we gotta know. Think about it. Think of how. You know what? I'm changing my grub skill. I'm going fucking 16 on grub skill. Okay,
Oh.
because my character.
You're
He's an eater.
declaring
Yeah,
that you're a big
I'm declaring
eater.
my
All right.
grub skill. I'm an eater.
Okay.
I just added that to my character.
happy with
I'm an eater. Okay. I begin to cook them up. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to do it on just a nice roasted fire. I'm going to take a bit of the meat and I take a bit of the skin. I'm going to kind of combine it into like a bit of a sausage. So if I can get some like inner intestine lining and actually do that, that'd be awesome. And I'm going to grill up a fucking Fishman sanguine sausage.
No shot.
All
This guy's
right.
making a sausage here on the beach.
There's a reason
making
there's a lot of
sausage.
regulations. There's a reason there's a lot of regulations on sausage making in Germany.
I'm making a
Like,
sausage.
You're
And hey,
fucking done.
if my character died, this would be a really funny way to go. I'd be
In
like,
before
oh, yeah,
Neil tells
how
you
did he
it
die?
takes 4 hours to
Yeah,
make
he
the
ate a
sausage.
sanguine.
So
So there we go.
you do your best to find some intestines and shove up some chopped meat into the intestine and then twist it off.
Oh yeah.
It's an awkward sausage. We're here for a while because it's going to take a while to skin one of these creatures. And Xylem's having a bit of trouble doing it. You know, they've like put something over the face of the creature so they can't quite see it as they like begin to flay it. You're over here making a sausage out of this, and you're finding like the meat is really stringy. It's got like these weird bits, like sinews that run through the muscle that makes
Not
it
a
kind
worm,
of awkward.
right?
Not a worm. Not a worm. But
Maybe
you know what?
it's,
You got a big sharp something. You can hack through it.
You know,
Yeah,
it's a slow cooking maybe might be better.
I got a mace, but
Cedric.
I also got a hammer.
So you have no sharp instruments. You cannot. How do
Can
you
someone
cut?
hand me a dagger?
You're not using my dagger for that.
Oh my god. Then I'm just gonna brute force it, Neil. Okay, I'm gonna mace it. So
You want to make like a steak and like cut it against the grain.
yeah, you
With a
know, like
mace?
No,
well, I can't do it with a mace.
I mean, like, cut a steak, but then slice it thinly across the fibers so that you break the fibers when you cut it.
Riven, can I borrow your short sword real quick?
Yeah, but I'm not sure it's going to be much good for this. Hand it to you.
It's awkward. It's
get
awkward,
it.
but it can be
Come
done. Okay,
Give me
it
my
can
sausage.
be done. We got time. 'Cause we're here skinning your creatures. There's plenty of time to make your sanguine sausage. Wow. I think the doubt
delicious.
of all the people around you has really encouraged and motivated
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Because everyone's always talking about how great you are and you can do
Haters.
anything. And everyone's always like telling you that you can do everything. So you've stopped trying in some ways. And finally, you've got people who are like, dude, this is a bad idea. And you're feeling like challenged and motivated. And you know, you've got something to prove because people don't automatically look up to you and agree with you.
My
And
muse, the Sahagwen.
you put it together, bro. You shove that chopped meat in there and you take a bite and well, you know, it could be called an acquired taste.
It's
It
okay.
definitely smells. It definitely has like a strong pungent flavor that like hits you right up front. But then, you know, as it sort of fades, there's a mildly pleasant, if you like your foods fishy, aftertaste that sort of lingers in your throat for a while.
Okay, you know, I asked Riven. This is actually pretty good.
Yeah?
Do you like
sure?
fishy food? Yeah. No, really. Try it. I hand you the stick.
I'll take a bite. And roll my grub skill, as I do.
All right.
I'm going to say that you need a 14 grub skill to enjoy this, Neil. Would you say that's
It's
accurate?
fair.
I will let you make these decisions on your own.
I'm not. I don't know. It's kind of gross. I hand you the fork back. You
I
know,
offer my sausage to people.
it's edible. You know, if we were starving, you're right, we could eat it. But I think that maybe we should stick to vegetables and chicken for now.
I know. Anyone else want to try? Riven?
Nah,
or,
man,
Zephyr?
I'm good.
Elijah? You're good,
thanks
Elijah?
for offering. I appreciate it, but I'm.
No,
Good.
thank you.
All right, I'm gonna save my rations for today then, Neil, and I'm gonna eat
All right.
eat my sanguine sausage.
Perfect. Sahugwin. Sanguine means bloody and
Sahugwin.
hopeful. Yeah. Excellent. You get yourself a nice cook on. Eventually, the large one is skinned. Xylem can't bring themselves to do the face, and it would be hard anyway with the bones
fine.
and everything. So let's just hack it off. Odd thing, fish. These creatures have like surprisingly thick bones. They're a little bit on the hollow side, kind of like bird bones, but they are thicker than you might see in normal fish.
Fish are people.
Interesting.
Just
All
a
right,
bit of curiosity.
I salt the shit out of that skin and we pack it up.
Yep.
Where are you getting the salt?
Bro,
The
in
ocean
oceans.
idiot.
Just from the ocean? You're just boiling
We're just
it?
gonna boil
There's got to be
it, yeah.
salt, like fucking, crystallizing on these rocks, right? No, is
Have
that
you
not a thing?
have you ever been to the ocean?
I mean, it's water and shit, right?
How do you explain how that works? Yeah, just water.
There's got to be like little tide pools where fucking seawater, evaporates, and then there's like little salt crystals left. That's how they make salt. They fucking bring seawater into pools and they evaporate it, right?
You should visit the ocean, bro. It's pretty cool.
Hey, he's on an island.
It doesn't
Goddammit.
look like that.
So
You know
one
what? I
liter of
fucking-
salt, 1 liter of seawater contains 35 grams of salt.
That's enough.
It's enough.
That's not enough.
It's not enough. But they do keep sausage skins in salt water to preserve them. But I don't think we've got a container big enough to store the whole skin in. But if we
You know-
did, that would probably work.
Whatever.
You want to
It's
keep
fine.
it
I
in
sprinkle salt
seawater.
water.
We're only a day away, by the way. Or we're like 6 hours away from home, anyways. So who cares? It'll be fine.
It's fine.
All right.
It's fine.
We make our way.
Enough of this dastardly beach.
One more thing. I want to do this if I can. I'd like to cut off the fishermen heads, and you know that they're shitty spears.
Oh,
I'd like to
fuck yeah.
stick them pretty well into the ground, and I'd like to put the fisherman head on top. So if any other fucking fishermen come up here, they're gonna see like, holy shit, we got
got our
fucking
shit
massacred.
rocked.
That's Bob right there. Like Bob's dead. So I'm gonna do that.
Cedric,
I'm gonna do because there were 3 or 4 of them.
That's barbaric. What are you doing?
5.
Well, I don't want them coming up here and getting more people, so I think this is a good way to keep them out. I'll do 3 over here and then 2 over here.
I looked
Okay.
disgusted,
Spots.
and I said,
I'll sidle up to Riven and I'll
I didn't take you for a goblin. Is this
One's here.
What do you think of this, Zephyr?
I think it's a little much, but like,
Yeah.
I don't see a reason to stop it. I guess feels like a bit much.
I just didn't know that this is the kind of thing we did, but
It's
times
all
are
getting
changing,
a bit,
I guess.
It's all getting a bit intense for me personally. I'm talking only to Zephyr right now.
I think
Like-
I think Cedric just gets carried away. He gets carried. It's fine, right? We'll talk him
Like
down.
the whole like eating our enemies after killing them and then putting their heads on spikes and skinning them. It's I understand we're like fighters now and we're supposed to protect the town, but I just think it's getting a little bit. I'm just not used to this kind of stuff, is what I'm saying, and kind of what I would like to know from you is, do I need to be getting used to this?
I put my hand on Elijah's shoulder and I say, I have absolutely no idea. We're in the middle of change. And when things change, they become unpredictable.
Well,
I don't know
like,
if I like what Cedric is doing, but I don't know if it's going to be the norm from now on.
Well, if I may, here I feel like what you're saying is it's unpredictable and there is change, but I feel like we have some control over where the change is going right now, with you being, the leader of the wardens and kind of setting the tone for everyone. And I was just thinking that maybe this would be like one of those points where we could set like a path going forward that doesn't involve eating our enemies and putting their heads on spikes.
All right, let's have the debate. I call Cedric over. Cedric, come here. Riven as well, come here.
Yeah.
Say, Cedric, what are you doing?
I was just thinking that these fishmen are going to keep coming and killing our people, so I thought a good way to maybe make them move on to the next island and fuck off from here would be to show them that we can fight back and stop them. And I thought that we would put their heads on their spears and just leave it there.
That's a reasonable thought process. Do you know what a hypothetical is?
I raise my hand.
Of course. I'm a poet.
Riven, one moment. What if you walked into a town and you saw your cousin's head on a spear outside that town? What would you want to do to that town?
Well,
I put my
it
hand down.
depends. If I had previously murdered with my cousin a few people, and then I walked into that town and saw my cousin's head on there, I'd be like, well, yeah, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Let's say you're the kind of guy who doesn't think there's anything wrong with killing people, but only thinks that when other people kill your people, that's wrong.
I think that the fishmen aren't smart enough to do this. I don't think they're going to start a full-scale invasion on our town.
And like, if I can add to this, and Cedric, by the way, totally see your point about the putting the heads on the spears.
Well, you think my point's
after
great,
skinning
right,
the enemy and
Elijah?
eating them thing. Like, I understand the argument here, but kind of where I'm coming from is like, there's I just feel like we have like some sense of humanity and self-worth to us. There's just a certain sense in me that maybe doesn't want to do something like that, and I was wondering if we could bring that aspect with us into the discussion or not.
100%. And I'll point over to our 3 dead friends, because we knew these people well. We've been on patrol with Bob, Rob, and Slob, a ton of times. And here they are dead. I mean, are we really that squirmy that if this, I point to the beach, has the chance to prevent this, I point to the 3 dead bodies, from happening again, that it's not why not try it,
Well,
I
you
agree.
don't know if the outcome is right. I'll turn to Riven. I'll say, what do you think?
Well, my mother used to tell me a saying that they had in the elven forests. An ear for an ear makes everyone deaf. And I think that, if you interpret that, what it's trying to say is, you attack me, I attack you back, then your son attacks me, and it's causes...
Yeah.
And I think we should be...
And then everyone loses their ear, right?
Exactly. And I just
Yeah.
think that we should be careful. Cedric, like, I know you look at these things and think perhaps they're not that smart or they're not that considered. And I have 2 arguments for you. One, they did lay this trap for us, so they're clearly not mindless beasts. And secondly, there's plenty of elves out there that think that humans aren't that smart, but we all know that humans can be very smart. So I'd say maybe some caution here could be warranted.
would we like to take the posts down then?
I would vote for taking the posts down and hope that we can avoid this kind of thing in the future. But, if things get more dire, then maybe I change my vote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
personally, what's important to me in this is that, like, going forward, we maybe take a step back from barbaric actions, or barbaric-ish related, barbarian related actions such as these. Not saying that you are
A
barbaric,
barbarian,
of course.
No, I
but
mean,
I'm
I get
just-
it, yeah.
Right.
Okay,
I
yeah,
have-
all right.
I'm glad
I
that
have
we
come
can
to
agree and we can talk about this, guys.
Thank you, Elijah. I think Elijah has a really good point, as does Riven. And I've come to a ruling on what we're going to do on this matter at the current time. We're just going to cast the bodies into the edge of the water, the closest water we can find, and then
Keep the spears.
take the ones we can. Yeah, don't let them
Yeah.
keep the spears.
All right, I'll take the spears, I'll throw the heads in, and I'll throw the bodies in, and then we'll keep our one that we skinned, and that's the end of that.
All right.
We got to keep the ultra spears, though.
Oh, yeah. Let's keep going.
Will everyone take 369 experience for the monsters?
Perfect. 369, did you say?
I did, yes. And then I'm going to say that was a very well role-played scene between the sausages and the skinning and Riven tending to people and Elijah being Elijah and Zephyr being a great leader here. Let's also, everyone played their characters well, so another 50 for excellent role play.
And question, Neil. What
Yeah.
experience does a sorcerer become level 2?
Probably nowhere where you are right now, but that's a good question to have, so let me check my notes.
Well, if I was a rogue, I'd have leveled up, so...
Can you give everyone their level up thresholds? I could just put it in my
Yeah.
notes then.
Well, you're a sorcerer as well, so... You'd be the same as me, whatever that ends up being.
If my grandmother had wheels, she would be a
Be a
bicycle.
bike. What a fucking
Doesn't matter, I
classic,
ride
though.
your grandmother either way.
1,500 experience is the cleric experience.
Is the
for-
old cleric experience, but you are not normal clerics nor
not?
normal sorcerers. You are all pretty fancy, pantsy characters here. You have better attack progressions than sorcerers or clerics. Decent HP, overtuned spells.
You stop
and
with the
slightly better
lubrication, Neil, and just
proficiencies.
get on with the fucking.
No, baby.
I'm looking up the number. I have.
lubricate me.
I've got. Shut up. So each of you need 2250 XP to level.
All right.
That's what your characters need.
So
for
we're
the
about
first
halfway.
level.
We're about 1,000
About
XP
halfway.
away. Yeah.
Sick.
All right.
All right, we'll take our
Um,
thing and get the fuck out of here.
You make as much progress as you can tonight before you have to camp. You haul the bodies with you. The body carriers, the bigger, stronger, more, I don't want to say ruthless, but the people who are willing to put up with like the harder parts of life without complaining too much. They bring the best that they can. We got some cloth to like wrap up the bodies because, you know, sometimes there's a limb over here or some guts that have been removed. You got to pile them all together as best you can. And it's a slow, sad, awkward walk all the way back. You lose sight of that little fishing boat. It must have, you know, gone round the island. Might be in Aknara right now, but you're not going to make it back before sundown, so oh well.
Okay.
We pass the night, and we travel on into the next day. Making our way home
I heal Elijah.
in the morning.
Yep. Here's
Alright.
another 1d8.
Ooh.
Bringing him back to full.
Beautiful.
You know, I do actually. That was real nice, Cedric. Thank you, man. You're a real one.
You're welcome. I mean, you agree with me, right? That we should have kept those up.
I mean, like, listen, I was mostly like, I thought it was a really good idea to keep them away. I think, I just like personally, I can't really stand looking at it. But like, if I hadn't like had to look, like, I think it was a good like strategic idea.
Yeah,
Like, you
good
gotta keep
idea,
them out
yeah.
sometime, right? Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I
But you know
walk
how
away.
Zephyr is, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I get the fish guy and I bring him.
You bring the bodies back into town. It's a nice morning. The weather's pretty calm and cool. It's autumn, so it's never getting too hot here, but it gets a little windy from time to time. And today is, just a nice gentle breeze. Get back into camp, back into town. You've got the bodies in tow. I take it you're heading directly to the cemetery with them, or to the town square? Where are we going with these corpses? Is this
well,
like
it
a
depends.
show the public or a?
No.
It almost certainly depends on what the traditions are for our town. But I think Zephyr will encourage us to go through the center of town. And what's going through Zephyr's head here is by parading the procession of the dead, it reinforces the idea that we need to be together. We're in danger. That things are happening. And basically, here's the plan in my head, okay? And we want to go through the center of the town, and I will tell people I see on the way through the town. This is the plan. We haven't actually done this yet. To go get the relatives of the people, and then we will continue making our way through the town to the graveyard, possibly by the church, to go get the priest to do blessings and stuff like that. But that's what Zephyr wants to do. What might unfold might be different.
I asked Zephyr if I could run ahead of the group to go and pre-warn the relatives.
Absolutely. Probably a good idea for them to come down. They may want to carry their own to the final rest.
Okay. I once we get within an hour of town, Neil, I'm gonna pick up my pace and get ahead of everyone.
Yeah, there's no monsters on the way. You get back into town, you can let people know, and there'll be some curiosities, some concerns, and people will come out as the bodies process through town.
I'm not letting everyone know. I go specifically toward the relatives of the 3 dead men and women and let them know that we'll be carrying the bodies through the town to the cemetery for burial. And
Well,
whether
everyone-
whether they want to watch or they want to not watch or they want to wait at the cemetery, they can decide, but I want to let them know ahead of time.
It's a small, close-knit town, and word travels
Yeah.
fast. Everyone
fine.
knew
Yeah.
because of yesterday that you were going to be bringing back bodies to yesterday, and you didn't come back yesterday, and so people have been a little bit nervous. You still have to live through their days, but when Riven comes through town and starts telling, like, word spreads, and people will come out and see what's going on. And you've got, like, mostly, like, body bag style claws with chopped up people in them. So it's a pretty gruesome sight.
Zephyr will ask Cedric if he knows any of like good songs to sing while we walk the bodies to the, like, dirges, funeral songs, like.
How about we do, who was the last overseer?
That was my
grandfather?
My grandfather, Theodore.
How about instead of doing a funeral song, we do, my grandfather, he taught me some overseer, like, war songs. How about we do one of those? Because this is times of war, and
I think I appreciate it.
I don't know any funeral songs.
I think this is a time of sadness. Well, I know one, and Zephyr will sing, not very well. Her plan is to sing a dirge, and it's just like a simple. It's like kind of like a sea shanty, like Bones in the Ocean sort of type thing. Like it's just like a sad song about dying. And she'll just sing it over and over as we're walking through town. And the idea here is to create an image in the minds of the people that this is a moment of sorrow that they should participate in.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Why don't you give me a charisma check here for how well you can project this image onto the people around you?
Sure. Here's a fat 27.
Yes. Your emotional tone washes over the people of this village like a wave on a stormy day. And even those who might have been having a nice day come out and they hear the song and they see the procession and they see the, like, drooping bags that are stained one color on the bottom and still clean on the top, and it hits everyone together.
We're doing a funeral march.
Sort of not awkwardly, but unintentionally or unplanned, people begin to gather and head in the direction of the temple and the funeral home and all the places where you would put the bodies. It's a slow walk through town. Some relatives don't even come out for it because, like, they'll take a glance at what happened to their poor boy, and then they'll turn away because they can't deal with it. But the town as a whole gathers to say goodbye to the last wardens.
Mm-hmm.
Once the bodies are handed off to the cleric, the priestess, one of the older folks in town, an older gentleman, retired by this point. His knees are too bad to continue thatching roofs anymore. He can't climb up on anything. He sometimes will still make some little bundles to pass off to his kids to handle this, but he's more or less retired. And he'll come up to you as the bodies are handed off to the priestess and tap you on the shoulder, Zephyr, and say, Overseer.
Do I recognize this person?
Yeah, this is Tommy. Old guy in town. He's been around forever.
Hey, Tommy.
You don't talk to him much. He's just an old thatcher. Overseer, I've got that old man and those kids. They came back. They pulled up onto the beach, and we made some good progress tearing down all the rocks. We're working on the covering, but they saw it. They started walking towards town before anyone could intercept them. They saw the pit where the town hall was, and so it was yesterday.
Get them.
They're in the tavern now. We put them up for the night. They've been asking some questions. I know there's a lot going on.
You did the right thing. At least they're still alive.
we figured, we could do it. It was fine the first time, but there were some kids here, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Youngest one's like 15 or 14 or something. It just didn't feel right. So.
No, you're right. You still young enough? I tap him on the shoulder, say, "Spring Chicken, to go get a message to the mayor for me."
Yeah, of course. Mayor's been talking to him too.
Yeah, could you ask the mayor and the armator? We'd like to have a meeting with I'd like to have a meeting with the mayor and the armator, and then with our, I guess welcome but unwelcome guests afterwards. We need to figure out what we're going to do with them.
Where should I tell them to meet you?
Meet me at the temporary mayoral office, which I don't remember where that is, but I'm sure we have one.
Mayor's house.
Perfect. Or,
Okay.
well, I guess the armator is kind of old. If the armator is having trouble getting around, we'll meet at the armator's.
Okay. Mayor's house it is. It's close enough to everyone. It's perfect.
Perfect.
You can bring your wardens by, and everyone can head out to the
I will
mayor's
ask Tommy
place.
how is he holding up? How's he doing? How are you keeping
My one
Tommy?
regret is that the gods came to the world when I was too old to do anything about it. Now all I can do is stand by and watch as the younger generation handles it. And all I want to do is be more involved. But I know I'm just a burden.
I'll reach out. I'll put my hand on Tommy's shoulder, and I'll say, "You are one of the people that made us what we are now. If we make it through this, it's because of what you did to make this town what it was while you were young and strong. And the future we build will be judged on how we treat you." And I cast Bless on him. And I tell him, if there's a way, if I could make you young and fit again, I would. But you may still have a role to play in this. You just don't know it yet. You have wisdom of years. Of
Thanks,
knowledge.
lad. Thank you.
You've been training the kids how to thatch? You always need roofs.
He goes off to gather the other people. The people who, the parents and loved ones of the dead will hang out with the priestess and deal with that. Looks like the party has bigger fish to fry. And so off to the mayor's house we go.
Are we all going or just Sepha?
I bring my inner circle of dweebs.
So just us. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right. We get to the mayor's house. And the mayor's there, and the mayor's stressed out. He's got a nice big pot of tea. And he's got his head in his hands. And you can see there's like little hairs on the table around him where he's been like pulling at his hair and little bits are coming out. His mom is over there tending the kettle by the fire. He looks up as you guys come in and he shakes his head and goes, it's fucked. It's all fucked. We're so screwed.
What's wrong, Mayor? Calm down.
Well, the old man and the kids came back and they saw everything and they came on shore, but they weren't the only boats to come by. And the fog is gone, burned off a couple days ago. And it's a fucking gate on the mountainside. How the hell are we supposed to keep this secret?
What do you mean they weren't the only ones to come by?
I saw boats out in the water. They didn't come up to the shoreline or nothing, but like, if I can see a boat, the boat can see the mountain, right?
Probably. It's pretty far out. We have it pretty covered up. How covered up is the doorway now, Neil?
There's like some big scaffolding over it where people have been working, but like you haven't actually been able to cover it with something as you're still like carving away at it. It's clear that there's like something has happened to the mountainside here, and maybe someone could see something, but like there wasn't like, there was a plan to cover it after it had been cleared away.
Yep.
And the clearing is now fully done, and the covering
good.
is starting, but
Well, yeah.
it's been a full week by now.
I'll turn to Cedric and I'll say, Cedric, could you bring someone out? Find someone who saw the boats, and I want you to go take a boat out where the boats were seen I want you to give me your best judgment of what you can see from that location. We need more intel. We need to know what they could have seen, because that's going to dedicate where we put our resources. What do you think here? Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah,
if it just looks like a fallen town building from the sea, you know, it might not be so bad. We might not have to change course. But if
We
it's very
also know what
obviously
we're
a gate,
looking for, and they're not looking for it. So I'll keep that in mind.
I speak
Exactly.
up and I'll just say, just bear in mind, guys, you know, people are curious. Everyone on these islands knows about the fortress, or at least the legacy of the fortress. And everyone probably knows that the gods landed here, or at least they might have. Even if people didn't see much, it might be enough to get them talking. In fact, I think we should probably work on the assumption that people are at least talking about it.
absolutely.
We should start charging people to come to our ports.
I still think we want more information, because whether or not we try to continue to cover it up versus dedicate all of our resources to getting it open is going to depend on what Cedric thinks they might have seen. If it just looks like a jumble of crap from a distance, we can keep it covered up for a little bit longer. If it doesn't, then wasting resources building a cover-up building over it is not necessary, and we're better off just trying to dedicate everything towards getting it open.
Just my suggestion, and I'm not saying this is the way to go, it's just an idea, is maybe we should try and get ahead of the story and come up with a reason as to what they saw that isn't that there's a door that's appeared on the side of the mountain. Maybe we're building a new building there. Maybe we're desperate and think this was a sign and are just trying to tunnel through the edge of the cliff. I don't know.
I
Like,
think-
maybe we can like announce something so that we don't let the rumors get out of control.
You're right.
I think what we should maybe do is hide the part of the mountain and embrace the fact that the gods did land here, and people will be so focused on what we want to show them, which is I motion towards our fucking obliterated town hall, and we could start charging them and getting some real money coming in here for us to actually do something.
That's a fantastic idea. I've got it. We build a new temple on the site where the gods landed to dedicate it to Martha and Malchus. And we build a town hall up on the mountain because the town hall was obliterated. No one's going to be like, no one wants to see the town hall. They'll want to see the temple, right? Build a new town hall up on the mountain to hide the door.
But we need donations,
The
so we
mayor
start charging people. Yeah.
pulls his hands out of his head and goes, "We're just gonna build the town hall on the mountain. You know how difficult and expensive. We're gonna have to import labor. No one here's a good enough builder to build a building on a mountainside. You're gonna need specialist labor from somewhere else."
Wait, you don't have to. This is going to be leaning against, like, it's not even that high up, right?
We don't even really need to build it. We just have to
No one
then
here
to-
can even build a 2-story house. How are you?
We don't
gonna
even have to
anything on
build
a
it. We
fucking
just have to
mountain?
tell people we are.
It just has
And-
to look like construction, right? Doesn't have
Yeah, it
got
just looks
a-
like construction.
I look at Elijah and say, we've recruited a specialist architect from Just Stars Bay.
That's true.
Nod, and we're going to be getting
Organizer.
a ton of
Right.
people coming here and donating for this new temple that we're constructing.
But
The
we
mayor
should be
brightens
ready.
up at this.
If we
Elijah.
do this,
I'm so sorry, Riven. Elijah, you do know people. You do know an architect. Do you think that is there anyone trustworthy in Just Stars Bay that you could get to come over here and help with some construction plans? We could actually build a proper thing.
Yeah, sure. I know a lot of people. I know tons of people. I know some of the some great architects over there. They could build you.
Do
You have no idea what
anyone
kind of temple they
who's
could build you there.
trustworthy enough that they might want to live here, or they wouldn't tell what they saw?
See, and that's the thing. Elijah starts saying as he remembers that if he goes back to Just Stars Bay, he has to see his wife and kids. I can vouch for their skills in terms of them being an architect, but in terms of trustworthiness, I mean, they're not from here. You know, they're not like
No,
you
you're
and
right.
me.
You're
They're
right.
not like
They're-
real.
Wait.
The
Agnarians.
Empire's got that place conquered pretty good. I wouldn't.
Wait, Elijah.
Yeah.
They would pay good money for this information.
Elijah, do you happen to know an older architect who might be close to retirement?
An older. Do I, Neil?
You work for the state, so your older architects are now more like senior partners at their firms and don't do much architecting, but like oversee the new people and the contracts and like overlook everyone's work. And you do know a few of them.
Yeah, I
we
mean,
could
like,
get an older guy to come out here and
What is
convince
this
him-
architect gonna do?
what?
Well,
Yeah,
we don't have the skills to build the building. We don't have the skill to make the plans of the building or organization, right? We can make
don't-
scaffolds and 1 to 2 story
We need an
buildings for nothing.
engineer and an architect.
But what I'm trying to, what I'm putting forward here is if we start proclaiming that yes, the gods did land here, and we can actually cover that up, I point to the fucking door, and we focus on this area, we now will become a commodity and can keep people over here
right.
versus over there. And they're gonna come and they're going to pay homage to the gods, and they're gonna donate for us to be able to create this thing, and we
And
can
this-
charge people to even come here.
But
And engineers will come, architects will come. I'm sure that the most famous architects of the land will want to be the ones to make this temple.
and like I
Well,
hear
it's not the
that,
temple we're worried about right now. We're thinking about how do we cover up the wall thing. And the idea that I had was that we could build the new town hall here or something to hide it. But it requires a lot of study, like because.
And it's way up on the mountainside. It's
Out
a
of
huge ass
character.
building to cover it. We could put a blanket over it.
Guys, but wait, we don't really want to build a town hall on the side of the mountain, because if that is a door, we need to access it.
Agreed.
All we need to do is build scaffolding and covering it so that they can't see it, and that it's
Okay,
it's a
you
good
just-
enough story to distract anyone.
You have a building and then a back area, and the building just needs to be tall enough to hide the door, right? Like, that's all. It doesn't have to actually be up on the mountain. I assumed that, like, so here's what I was seeing.
But
I don't know how you
Zephyr,
can pay
I mean,
this.
but yeah, but it'll take months to build a
Zephyr-
building.
Years.
Zephyr, let me tell you something. I have been involved in numerous big building projects and huge infrastructure projects in Just Stars Bay that you couldn't even imagine. And the thing with these projects is always there's so many people involved, and there's always like, oh, some of them are secret, some of them are for for like military purposes. Oh, it's super secret or whatever. Everybody knows who's working on it. I was I was working on one project for like a tunnel under the city, and my only job was to do the math on how much dirt they would have to remove to make it work, right? That was the only thing. This was like way back when I started, and I immediately figured out what they were doing. I immediately figured it out, and everyone who worked on the project immediately figured out what they were doing. You can't, if you have a big project like this, if your goal is to hide this from as many people as possible, the last thing you want to do is build a big building on the side of this mountain.
Okay, I hear you. And I'm going to say a thing that I've always hated it when my grandfather said it. It's like, don't bring me problems, bring me solutions. How do I get out of this problem? What do I do?
Well,
What do we
could
do
kill
to hide the
everyone
door?
who comes by, and we could become sea raiders and try and sink any ships that come near us.
But then we don't
No,
get the
that's-
coin for the donations of where the gods landed, okay?
And then people are going to come after us for killing everyone, not to mention killing all of our neighbors is wrong.
Yes.
Okay. So I think we're all in agreement that the proclaiming the gods did land here and building a new temple on the site is like strategically our best play.
Is
They're
good.
going to find out. People are going to talk. People are looking
We
for
might as well
this.
monetize it.
Right? How do we hide the door?
Well, my concern with that is that if we say that they landed here, isn't the Empire going to come and take this whole place over if we start making money with it? If we draw that much attention to this place?
It's inevitable that somebody's going to turn up here asking questions. from
I
their
think the
army.
Empire would come and pay respects, but I think it would probably be a bad idea for any empire or any group to come here and be like, let me take it over.
Right,
Yeah.
because the
The
Empire's
gods
just full
landed
of
here
good
for-
ideas, right? All they
but
do
it-
is have good fucking ideas. They got crazy-ass clerics. They got mad wizards. They got, ogres that juggle and eat and swallow babies. Like, someone's going to come. And Maris says,
Someone's
back in
going
his
to
hand.
come, and our only hope is to have a good cover story that explains why there is building going on over there, that they don't need to be interested in.
Why
We need like a
and
red
hear me out on
herring or
this,
something.
guys. I'm sure there's some great painters in this town. Why don't we just take a fucking blanket, throw it over the thing, and paint it the same color as the rocks?
So when it rains, the whole thing can just get washed away.
Well, like we could there. I feel like there's a solution here that doesn't involve drawing even more attention to the place.
Somebody's-
How tall is the doorway?
The doorway, the archway itself is maybe 10, 12 feet tall, and it's sitting up on the mountain. I put a little tiny map over here. It's a side view where like this is the level ground, you know, and then this is that little rock slide that happened, and then this is the cliff face, and the door itself is like, you know, 10, 12 feet tall or something like that.
12
And
It's
then
fully
it's maybe
uncovered
20,
now?
25 feet off the ground. And it's fully uncovered except for the scaffolding that's blocking it.
We
that's
should go
giving
check it.
Workers.
We haven't seen it since it's been fully uncovered.
Wait,
Maybe
but
we can
we
figure
gotta
something out.
we gotta deal with these people first, or do you want to go check it first?
I want to check it first. They're still in the tavern. They're fine.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can go
yeah.
check it for 30 minutes to an hour. We'll be
Wait.
right back, Mayor.
Hold on. There was a rock slide there, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we just move a bunch of fucking rocks in front of the door?
You mean like replace the rocks that slid off of in front of the door and restack them up in front of it?
Yeah, I feel like that's the most natural
It's the
kind of
best idea so far.
camouflage.
Yeah.
That's how nobody else. I mean, that's how it was hidden before, and nobody found it.
I think that's going to be quite a bit more difficult than you think.
It's more
Okay, so-
difficult than building a whole town hall in
No,
the side of
because
the mountain.
No, the original plan was to build like a thing that just looked like a shrine that you couldn't go behind up against the wall. It just looked like here's like a shrine out of wood. And then you could just like, there was like a way to get through it, right? Like it was just like I'm just imagining like an arch shrine. It's like, oh, come pay your respects to the shrine, but also there's a doorway that only we have a door to get through.
Let's visit the door and see if we can open it right
Like-
now.
Wait, just before we go, let's remember
Like-
why we started this conversation. Somebody's already seen something weird going on the cliff face.
Correct.
So trying to say that there's nothing to see on the cliff face isn't going to work. We need a reason why they saw something weird. We need a cover story where building something was a good idea because it's like, that's what you saw. You just saw us starting to build this thing.
I've got it.
Or,
We're
like I
building-
said, if we say that we're just trying to dig through because we think that there's something might be there, then maybe that's a reason.
I've got it, okay? I get a piece of paper and I start drawing, okay? And I draw something, I draw on top of Neil's, okay? Thing. And I draw, we build a shrine here and it's dedicated to Martha and Malchus. And it's just like, it has a door. It's literally that easy. It has a door you can go behind for maintenance. It's like, oh, that's the maintenance door. You don't need to go behind there. And we built that shrine in honor of the dead, the people who were killed by the gods landing here. That's why we built it.
Hold on, Sister Mary. You're telling me that on the island where people think that there's a secret entrance to the hidden floating fortress of Ferris, that we've built a door in the mountainside that's our door that we use because there's a shrine in there, and this is our construction project. That's your cover story?
I think you've misunderstood what I'm saying.
I thought it was brilliant. We built the door. We've been working on this project.
But
That's
why?
our door to the gods.
No, we've been working on this from before the gods showed up. This is just part of a temple that because we don't build houses, but we're tunneling into the mountain. We need some dwarves. Does anyone know any dwarves?
I sit down and I just start holding my head, and I've completely lost the thread of the conversation, and I'm just like, I don't know what's happening anymore.
Mayor, you can figure it out for now. Let us go check the door, and then we'll be back, okay? Let's just look at the fucking door. It's fully uncovered. This is the first time.
All right.
We go to the
I'll keep trying to bang my head against the table and figure this one out. Right. Our party can head on back. We get to the back of the town. We climb up onto the little rock slide, and then all the nice scaffolding that's been sort of hashed together from whatever little bits of ladders or spare wood that people could find in order to make this sort of sketchy scaffolding that definitely wouldn't pass inspection by OSHA. But you get to it. And sure enough, it is nice and cleanly cleared away. You can see the full double archway, you know, the archway that's got the 2 lines with the bas relief in it. There's that slot on one side that looks like about the size of a coin, I think you put in there before. And, yeah. The doors. Fully opened.
Fuck.
Well, no, not opened up, but fully uncleared.
Oh.
So do we see more symbols or more slots?
Lots of symbols all over the archway. You have no idea what any of them mean. There's that one on the capstone that looks particularly interesting. The rest of them...
Are they
Just a bunch of-
repeated? Is it symmetrical?
It is not symmetrical, no. And as you look throughout it, you do see a couple of signs that repeat more than once.
Are they making
it-
words? Like, are they in like groups together, and then there's a space, and then another group of symbols, or are they all equally spaced from each other?
Equidistantly spaced. A lot of languages didn't actually use spaces for a very, very long time. So maybe it is language, maybe it is words in a language that doesn't have spaces.
Okay, some are repeated.
Some signs are repeated.
Is Elvish written without spaces?
That is an excellent question. Elvish is typically written as like one long flowing script. I think sort of like Arabic, where you've got like a line that goes across everything and you write through it. Elvish is going to be one of these, like, you could just keep moving your hand endlessly to write one long book if you wanted without ever lifting
So-
your pen from the page.
In theory, it could be like some sort of scripted cipher version of Elvish.
Could be.
Okay. While people can do their own thing, I count the repeated symbols. I try and see if there's any one that's repeated like more than others. Try and, begin the process of maybe seeing if it's representing Elven letters.
Okay.
there
While you're
something-
doing that, anything else? Yeah, go ahead.
Is there something I can do that would give me some kind of... I pray. I pray to Malchus. And I say, Malchus, you have changed me. You have brought chaos to this world. You have changed my friends. You've changed my people. You have changed the course of history. Please, help me be a part of that change. Give me the slightest of slight hints as to what I should do with this door. I know this is part of your plan. There's something you want me to do here, and I just don't know what it is. And as I'm praying, I will draw the symbol of Malchus in the dirt, in the ground, whatever I have. And I will say, just help me be the change that needs to happen in this world, please. And I plead with the gods for like the...
Give me a really good wisdom check.
That's a 17. It's not good enough.
That's not very good, no. You call out to Malchus, the god of chaos. Your prayer is good and honest and just and worthy of answer. The god of chaos has no time for your prayers.
What a fucking dick! He's such a dick! No, I don't hate Malchus. It's all part of his plan. His chaotic plan. I tried praying.
Is there any other slots, Neil? Is there just the one slot?
There's just the one slot.
Is the slot at, like, human height level?
Yeah.
As if it were a key? Like, if it were a keyhole, it's well positioned for that.
Yeah, you don't have to reach very high up, and you don't have to reach very far down. It's not like, doorknob height, but if you were going to need to slot a key, it's at a very convenient spot.
I'll go up to Zephyr and say, that key, I point to the, keyhole, is perfect height for us humans. Your great-great-great-great-grandfather must have been the person entrusted with the key. Can you go and check through your grandfather's belongings or your grandmother or your, can you go ask your mom if he ever had anything?
I shake my head sadly. And I explain the history of the wardens that one of the wardens was in the lake or in the sea, and during a great storm he was swept away, and many of the secrets that were only carried down orally, told from overseer to overseer, were lost, as were any of the magical artifacts that were carried by him. They were lost, they were gone. That just,
I know,
one day we had them, but one day we didn't.
but maybe there's something that you didn't think was magical that had to deal with us, that just thought was a family heirloom that your family's still holding on to. The secrets were swept away, but maybe the actual key wasn't with the person who was swept away to sea. Maybe it's still somewhere in the town, somewhere here, someone has it.
You're
And they
right,
just have no
actually.
idea what it is.
And Zephyr perks up this, and I
worth
start
exploring.
saying, can we all detect magic?
Again.
I can't.
Okay. Nope. Cedric, I want you to take Riven or Elijah, dealer's choice, and I want you to scour this town using detect magic as much as you can for anything magical. I'm going to do the same, but I'll start with my house. We're going to scour this whole goddamn town. And maybe tomorrow we'll deal with those people that are in the tavern.
That will
Can
take,
we...
Our character, that'll take weeks.
Yeah, it would take weeks.
But we're just gonna
But
we're gonna do like starting with the important households, right? And then the site of the thing.
who was the person who fucking eons ago, whose lineage was the key holder, or I guess we don't know if there's a key holder, but like the first like overseer, like the king overseer.
It's the
Whose
Armator
lineage?
that we'd want to look for, right? They're the person in charge of secrets and keys.
So we need to go talk to the Armator.
Let's go
Yeah.
talk to the Armator.
Okay, our party heads over to the Armator, who was on their way to the mayor. They're a little bit slow because they're quite elderly at this point. And so you find the Armator just outside of the mayor's house, like on their way in.
Yeah.
You can greet them there. Hello, he says.
I look to Zephyr. I say, "Hi, Casey. How are you doing? Thanks for coming over here. Have you
Have you
Well, we
been
wanted
to
to-
the door?
Yeah, we did want to talk about the people that came to the island earlier today. I don't know if you've heard of that, but also I was wondering if you'd seen the door.
We have much to discuss. Quite a bit.
Yes, we
Let's
do.
just go inside. The people that came, oh, it's a terrible one. It's a terrible situation.
Yes,
It's
ma'am,
unfortunate
yes.
what happened to the first man who came and saw, and now there are more.
Well, we'd like to avoid a repeating of that if possible.
Yes. Well,
I fear these won't be the last visitors we get.
I believe you're right there, Riven. This is an event the whole world is aware of. The gods coming here. And within the weeks and months and years, we should expect countless visitors as people seek out this spot. We may delay them. We may be able to obfuscate for some time. There are too many people in Fisket Lake. Too many sets of eyes. Someone slowly but surely find their way here. Unless we were to bring all the peoples of Fisket Lake into a conspiracy, or at least all the surrounding islands into a vast conspiracy. That would be reliant upon no one spilling any information. Something like that has worked here in our home for 3 millennia. But this is an unusual place, and the others around us aren't conditioned for that.
Well, I think we're all in agreement that we can't keep this secret forever. But what is important is that if this is a door, that we are the ones to get inside first and can therefore make sure anything inside is well protected. And in that vein, Casey, we found what we think is a keyhole.
I saw it yesterday.
Well, we were thinking and we were wondering whether or not perhaps something left in the Armator's possession over the years, perhaps overlooked, not magic, or not at least not obviously magic, maybe could serve as a key, something we've not noticed before. Surely you would be best positioned, if such a thing
Keith.
did exist.
Cassia looks to Mayor Bromit and to Overseer Zephyr and says, the traditions of our people have been kept orally for countless generations. The ideas being that if information isn't written, it can't be stolen. It can only be lost entirely. I'm sure both the mayor and maybe at least the mayor, I'm certain, has been taught things that they've not shared with us. You know, the line of overseers was tragically interrupted. I expect you may not know as much as your ancestors did. The ways we've kept our secrets have been traditional, from one in line to the next in line. I have been told some things. I know some things that I don't think anyone else here does. But is it time to share these, or is it time to continue to hold them?
The longer we wait, the more likely it falls into the hands of the Empire.
Well, what if I share these things with you, and then you fall into the hands of the Empire and share it with them?
Only you, Cassia. Only you know when it's the right time. But if I may make an argument.
Mm-hmm.
Never since the height of the dawn of our people, the Farron Empire, the followers of Ferris, have we had the potential unlocked in us as we have the day the gods touched down in this town. And if not now, when a beacon has been lit on us, do we have a chance to exercise these secrets and reclaim what was lost? I will not begrudge you if you make the decision to keep the secrets with yourself to the grave and not even take on an apprentice. I'll understand if you choose to let the secrets die, but if these secrets were held for a moment, I believe they were held for this moment. When the four of us, and I wave my hand to indicate the rest of the party, were blessed directly by the gods with superhuman powers and superhuman abilities for some reason.
You think it was intentional? You don't think it's Malchus, god of chaos, just stirring the pot? You think there's a divine reason? They say Martha was aghast at the damage caused when she landed. It seemed unintentional, accidental, coincidental.
Malchus is the god of change. Chaos is just the bubbling beneath the surface, but the world is stagnant. The world is stable. And I believe he came here at this time to initiate a series of changes, starting with us.
You may be right.
It's not just our powers, Cassia. It's the appearance of the door, the goblin raiders. We've been attacked by fishmen on the beaches.
They taste good.
Too much of a coincidence to ignore. And I hazard to say that once the Verossi Empire finds out what's happened here, the gods themselves won't be able to stop them digging their way into that mountain. Key or no key.
I have been told what's been handed down to me through the generations is that Ferris brought his fortress here. Ferris left his fortress here in this spot for a very specific reason. This was not the heart of his empire. That lies to the west. this location is somehow specific. And it was supposed to be temporary. He had the intent to return and never did. To ensure the survival of the fortress against all possible outcomes, he established the orders we know, and language here is difficult. He gave the keys to the armator and to a few trusted others. I don't know who the trusted others are. I don't know if it's the same copy of the same key, of which there are multiple. And I don't know if the key is a physical object, or a spell, or words that need be spoken, or some other form of knowledge. But there were
Do you have
were
any?
multiple key holders once upon a time, a long, long time ago.
Since you're the armator, do you have any heirlooms? Anything that's been passed down from generation to generation? And I'll kind of explain the whole.
I've seen the whole. There are some old things left from long ago. None of them are shaped like that, though.
May we see them? Just in the case. Investigate them. Perhaps I can detect magic now. If there's magic there, perhaps I can tell if one of them is special.
I am worried about them, about their knowledge of their existence escaping this room, escaping to the outside world. Should something happen to you, and enemies certainly will be coming, I fear for the future. I'm sorry, the cat is not allowed to be up there.
He's also just knocked something off. Good, Mr. Pan.
Good boy. Good boy.
I fear that there are many dangers to come, and that the people in this town will be ripe for conquests or persecution or something like that in the not too distant future. I can't imagine the local governors of the empire coming back and not investigating where the gods touched Earth.
I agree.
I fear telling you or showing you, because you may fall into their hands, or one of our other friends may fall into their hands, and I am more concerned right now about these relics getting dispersed. I tell you with faith, none of them would fit that hole.
I understand that you're worried about the potential futures, which is why I don't judge you if you make the decision to let these secrets die with you. But you are not a young half-elf. Not terribly old, but is now the time to take an apprentice. Perhaps.
I have you in mind. I've waited this long because my health, despite my age, has been good. And I've been concerned about the events beyond our seas. I was worried a young one about the discipline might bend or break under pressure. And I still worry about a young one bending or breaking under pressure.
What do you think of Riven? I'll turn and look at Riven. They're a half-elf of fairly young age, honorable, intelligent, and a magic user to boot, reviving the old traditions of magic being an important part of the Armator role.
Well, Riven, if you were to be my apprentice, you'd have to give up. This might be perfect for you. Give up being a warden. Spend the next few years by my side, every moment of every day, learning, teaching. It would consume everything you have, but you're of the right temperament for an armator. Perhaps a little soft.
I was never a enthusiastic warden. That's true. And yes, I'm a magic user and a half elf. I'd say I probably do have the right temperament, but perhaps it's silly of me, but I can't help but feel like what's happened here with my new abilities. I'm needed out doing something active. I'm not sure I can afford to spend 3 years behind closed doors learning from you.
I agree. If what you think is true, Zephyr, that there are reasons for the things that are happening, then there's a reason it's happened to Riven. And they cannot afford to spend their time with me. They should be with you.
I guess I didn't think that the apprenticeship would take up that much time.
Of course, it's easy to be an armator. No time at all, no training, no learning. Just simply stand around and tell people what to do. I understand how you view me.
Well,
What
I'll make a
That's what
joke.
tickets,
Chuck
yeah.
Halloween. That's how easy it was to learn to be an overseer.
Perhaps there's another way. Perhaps there's another way.
What about the
Maybe-
mayor?
Well, he's the mayor.
I know, but he's been told things that we haven't.
Mayor
You should
bobs
ask
his
the
head.
mayor.
He's the
Mayor.
mayor.
Do you know you? Are you willing to divulge your secrets that you have held?
But let me suggest something. Cassia, I could commit to being your apprentice and delay my training until after this immediate crisis is dealt with. And in the meantime, you could entrust me with a select few of the Armator's secrets on the understanding that I'm committing to the role in the long term.
I don't like half measures, and that doesn't stop the problem of what if you're captured or caught.
It's true.
The mayor says, well, I too believe it is the end of the old world and the start of the new. I am baffled that Her Majesty Varasi, bringer of new eras, was not the one to land here and start this. And I do know a few things that are not of common knowledge, but nothing about keys or gates or doorways or nothing like that. They are more long-standing practices, quiet friends and alliances, secrets of who we know in the outside world who may be of use at times. Nothing related directly to the fortress. But when time comes for us to find allies on the outside, my forebearers established and maintained relationships with individuals and sects. I think that's all I can say for now.
Understood. I trust you'll give us that information when it is the most prudent and necessary. Neil, do I have any secrets I could divulge? I don't think I have any, like, bangers.
No. Very unfortunately, most of the information from the commanders and overseers was lost at a really bad time when they... long time ago.
Damn it.
Yeah. When the skies erupted and the seas invaded the lands, the last overseer commander was swept out to sea, sort of broke that line of information, and your people have just been sort of fumbling in the dark, trying to hold everything together since.
I'll let out a big sigh, and I'll say, something in me is calling me to go and find someone who has a key. Armator, would you be willing to come to the door and try to open it with your hand? I think we may have to leave this island in search of someone with a key, maybe an island nearby, or one of your contacts. You might divulge someone you think is a good candidate to be a key holder, an old noble line of some repute nearby. First, let's try to open the door.
Let us try the door first, and if it fails, there may be a process. We may have to uncover and relearn things that were lost, that were once common knowledge. It may, as you say, require visiting other local islands, finding out their bits of information, what they have been told and passed down. Maybe visiting the rest of Ferodia, seeing if there's any information there.
Perhaps our visitors are more than just curious individuals.
Worth talking to.
Let us do the door. See what we can manage, she says, as you make your way back up the town, back to the cliffside.
Does
What's your
Does she not need to
plan?
visit her house first to get, like, some things?
I'm gonna
What would she need?
Like the potential keys, no?
She says she doesn't have any potential keys.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna ask the Armator to stand before the door and just try what feels right. Like, if there is old knowledge and secrets about keys and doors, perhaps you should place your hand over the slot and speak a word of power. Maybe you could read the symbols above the door. Maybe you could make a sign. You could think the right thing. Anything. Anything that feels like it could open the door. If it indeed you have the key, it should open.
With help, she climbs the scaffolding, comes face to face with the door, rests her old hands on the smooth stone, sort of feels it, leans her cheek against it, presses her ear to it, leans in with her shoulders, takes a breath, cracks one eye, around, shuffles over to the keyhole, places both hands on top of it, focuses, furrows her brow. Nothing happens. And then she goes up to the keyhole and, like, cups her hands on either side of it and whispers a few things to the keyhole. Nothing happens. Well, I was never imbued with any great powers.
Casey, do you think that anything you've seen or anything you know might be able to shed some light on the symbology here? These look like they could be letters. Maybe there's no spaces, there's no obvious words. Maybe they're Elven. Obviously disguised.
No, they're definitely not Elven. They look similar to some runes I've seen before. Markings on the staff of a wizard who came by, 80, 90 years ago. He had little words like this inscribed upon his staff. We had a nice little conversation as he looked all over the island for the entrance. And I asked him about them, and they said they were words of power used to strike down his enemies, inscribed into his staff to better channel them. These may be inscriptions or magic empowerments upon the mountain or the door or the frame. If you can find a wizard who is trustworthy,
We may need to
They
find
may.
a wizard who can read the words.
Does anyone able to cast read magic?
No.
Loss.
We will have to... I fear that I will have to abandon my flock and go out and find things to bring back to save them. But what will
I think
happen
you're
to them
right.
while we're gone? We need a wizard. We need an architect. Not only do we need those things, but we need to convince them. We need to somehow keep this town safe. I'm being pulled in two directions. One, I want to stay here and guide them and protect them. And the other, I need to go out and find the things that I need to guide and protect them. That I need a wizard, I need materials, I need support. I need the Verossi Empire to go away and leave us alone and not investigate. But their tendrils expand and their claws, they dig in everything they can find for anything with their hunger for power.
Well, I would hesitate to say that if we can find a wizard that we trust, I'm sure they would be keen to be the one granted the ability to look into this. I've not known many wizards, but I've read a lot of stories. They're a curious lot. It tends to be part of what makes them what they are in the first place. I'm sure all we need to find is one that we can trust, and I'm sure they'll be keen.
Mayor, do any of your contacts include schools of magic or wizards?
I have some friends, so some contacts at an academy. Well, academy is a strong word. A small teaching house, a small boarding school. I've brought them some specialty goods and made some friends. I don't know if I trust them enough to tell them what's going on. But they might be receptive. Maybe you could transcribe these runes and bring it to them.
It's a
But
good
if the
idea.
runes say this is the entrance to the floating fortress of Ferris, we would be in trouble. If the runes just say, I'm protected by summoning goblins, we're not in trouble. So,
I think the best thing to do is to convince perhaps a young and impressionable wizard with some ambition that he could be a part of a great rebuilding. He could be something more, and we're in great need of a wizard.
Yeah, it's a Ferris. I think the mayor's on something though. We should take a copying down of these runes. It's a risk, yes, but if it's someone we trust that we're prepared to bring to the island, then we risk less by showing them the words than we would by bringing them here and showing them the whole thing.
You're right. I'll ask Cedric. I'll say, Cedric, you're good with writing and imagery. Do you think you could copy these words? Well,
Yeah, I'll do it on one of my pieces of parchment.
mhm.
Yeah, I
good
can
work,
do that.
Cedric. We'll need something to keep it dry if we're to leave the island as well in search of a wizard.
If you are
Parchment's
leaving,
the good one, Neil, right? Or is that
Yes.
papyrus? I'll do it on the
parchment is better than papyrus by far. If you're certain about this task, if you're certain you're going to leave the island in search of answers, I have some guidance. We want to know everything we can about the old age. The various islands in Fiscat Lake each have their own histories. Some more important than others, some very recent, some as old as on Aknara. So I'm giving you your quests right now. Make some notes. Explore the other islands to see if you can find any histories. See what you can learn about the Farron Empire. For any detail may contain clues. You might need to explore the other cities on the main island. Find scholars, sages, libraries. And unfortunately, the greatest collections of these will be in the hands of the monsters who run Barodia to this day. Or perhaps within the Elven Forest, if you can get through.
My eyes go wide.
The easy but labor-intensive way would be to find individual sources. The most dangerous way would be to fight the Empire. And middle path would be to try and find contact with elves.
I think we need to close up the door while we're gone and hide it. So that's the first thing that we need to do, is figure out the best path to hide it. And then while we're gone, you start laying groundwork for the new temple idea and the holy site. Charging people, making money for the town. Because
The
this
mayor
is going to
stands
take
up.
months.
You're right. It's my job as mayor
Is
to be in charge of foreign relations and to manage the inter-island diplomacy. If you're going to take on these dangerous tasks outside, I'll oversee the reconstruction and the hiding of information. Leave it to me.
Good.
I'll need to
Okay.
appoint a temporary, a sort of acting sub-overseer and some replacement wardens before I go.
Right, we'll need to keep up appearances. And the four of you are certainly something else. No question about that. And he looks to Elijah specifically. Something different about the four of you now. I don't know what we should call you, but you need a new name.
I mean, but personally, if I'm being asked here, I kind of still like the Wardens, but I mean, if that's not an option, then
Call yourselves
what?
whatever you will. There's only one other person I know that is fit to be the overseer today. And he looks back to Zephyr. And
I start shaking my head.
that's
as
a
I-
Tor. I'm sorry, that's Martha, your mother.
Oh, I breathe a sigh of relief. I'm like, I thought you were going to say my my
Your
uncle.
Uncle Malk?
Yeah, I'm just.
Oh, gods no.
Yeah.
No.
No, I start coughing. I'm like, no. You're right. No, my mom, Martha, is the best one.
Of
Yep.
course. Now, I hadn't put this bit of information, but it was Malchus and Martha who came to this land.
Oh, no.
And your mother's name is Martha, and her brother's
true.
name is Malk of Malchus.
The irony of this is not lost upon me.
You sure your grandfather didn't know anything before he passed? Visions somewhere 60 years ago when he was at his kids?
If he did, he never mentioned it to me. But he did
he
make
keep
me
a diary?
swear an oath. Overseers don't write things down. Secrets can... Anything that can be read can be stolen. Secrets are kept in the mind and in the heart.
Nods emphatically. Well,
Secrets have kept us safe.
Are you sure? The only reason I ask is because the old overseer who had all of the information died. Do you not think that could have taken a few... I shrug. Maybe your grandfather even started writing stuff down just in case? The old
No.
methods didn't work. I know. Okay.
When he took me as an apprentice, he told me everything he knew, and what he knew is useful and was useful, but it has mostly to do with the odes and the prayers to the gods. We don't have real secrets. And I'll kind of theatrically look out over the ocean. I'll say, we'll find those out there.
okay, well, I'm gonna go deal The old man and the kids.
How do you like the name The Seekers, then? I looked, Zephyr.
That's a good one. You were once upon a time called the Valorant. Perhaps we should be called the Valorant Seekers.
I know.
It's the old name for the Wardens.
The old name for the
Sounds good.
overseer was the commander. The Valorant and the commander again?
I like Valorant Seekers. It's a nod to our history without being too... Makes us sound like a boisterous adventuring party, which is a good enough cover while having a little history in it.
I agree, and you're our commander.
I'll do the... What-you-call-it? Yeah! That's our thing. I forget what it's
Right.
called. The salute?
Very similar to the crossbow hello.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Basically the same thing. Alright.
I think
get 'em
we
out.
have our work cut out for us. There's one small problem, and that is the matter of resources. Small island, there's not a lot of money going around. We tend to take care of ourselves. If you're going to be exploring the big world out there, you're going to need cash to do it. We have some small funds that we can put together, but
We should be making
not
a lot
gonna
of
be a
money
lot.
for the holy site. Just give us what you have now, and then we will scrape by for the next few months, to a year.
Also, I haven't been mentioning this, but monsters do drop treasure. I don't know how Neil does treasure in thing. We did kill Sahwahin.
yes,
I don't know if we're
they do
doing
not
loot
carry
tables.
money on them. There is loot to be found,
They
but
might have
usually like
gems
the
and stuff.
fishmen didn't carry gems
Some
on them.
say.
No. Yeah.
My
if you find monsters elsewhere, you might find loot.
We may have to travel light and make money and rely on the kindness of strangers.
I'll just sell my poetry.
I,
I'm an
We're
artist.
rich.
my mother had some coins stashed away. I was saving them. I'm not sure for what, but this feels like as good a time as any. I think it was for my future, and well, if I'll need them to survive, then yes, now makes sense.
All right, everybody, we're gonna roll for how much money your families can scrape together for this.
What about me? What about me? What about me?
I'm worried that I'm aware that you're in a precarious situation. So
You're gonna
let's
have
do the
to
other people
go home
first.
to get
and
your
we'll get to
gold
you.
and leave your family again. Oh, hi, I'm back. Just here to pick up all the money so you guys starve. See you later.
I do got a lot of money back home. Elijah's been saving up. He's got whatever the fuck the equivalent of.
While you're doing that, Neil,
I was gonna let
start.
you roll for money right now.
Oh,
Yeah, let's roll, yeah.
I'm gonna start
roll.
working on my epic poetry. Okay, about our adventure.
Oh,
That's my
perfect.
first roll. Is a 29.
Excellent. 20. This is the first section of your epic
Yeah.
poem about how you guys have done everything. Love it.
Oh yeah.
I want you to actually write a poem.
It's a bit harder. It's better if you just you roll and then you say, oh, that was a poem.
Let me write this down. Roll number 1 was a 29.
Oh yeah.
All right, so MrMouton, Cedric,
Blacksmith.
you are the blacksmith, the son of the blacksmith. Your dad is sort of lazy at his job, but your mom is a shrewd finance person who has been scrimping and saving and hiding money away for a rainy day. This is the rainy day. She wants you to succeed. She has got your back. All right, so you're going to roll. Let me get some nice, good, hopeful music for when we roll these things. Oops, that's not it. Here we go. MrMouton, you're gonna roll 5d4 times 10 GP for how much money you can pull out of savings.
Pretty good.
Ooh.
140 gold.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Next up is going to be the overseer. Your family has been in a prominent position, But you've had income that was supposed to be spent on being an overseer, and so your income is not so much saved for a rainy day as it is like needing to be constantly deployed for all of your people and buying supplies and resources and compensating people for their time. You are going to have 2d6 times 10 GP.
All right.
Let's get 12.
2d6 times 10?
Yeah, that's what can be spared from your family's efforts.
Okay. Now, I pray to Malchus, okay, right here in this moment, that he gives me a 1 and a 6, so that I
Give me
get
a wisdom
70
check
gold.
before you roll anything.
Okay, hold on. Boom. Wisdom check.
No.
He doesn't listen.
Go ahead.
Man.
If I get a 1 and a 6, he was listening. Ah!
4 and a 2.
That's not bad.
60
You
gold.
get 60 gold. Next up is Riven. Your family's poor, my bro. Your family is broke. You've never needed money. You're not
Brokies.
fancy
Business owner.
rich people.
Business owner, thank you.
Yeah, but like, you know,
Gardener.
You own a garden, my guy.
It's a tea house. It's the city's premier restaurant, actually.
so you get to roll 5d4 times 10 silver. 120 silver is what you can scrape up from the ruins
Jesus.
of your house.
You're fucking
And last
poor.
but not least is Elijah. You came out with some amount of money that you could carry, some amount of
Yeah.
money that you could spend, but not a lot because, you know, shit's out here is poor. And but you also need like 6 months of living expenses or something like that. So I think you brought with you 100 coins. I want you to roll me a D100 to see what percentage of them are silver.
Oh, you want low. You want 1.
So you've got
that's pretty
55
good.
silver. And now you're going to roll a D100 for the percentage of the 45 remaining. For what percentage of them are gold?
Why not just
The
roll
rest
a
are
Okay, you
D45?
want- now you
Just roll a
want-
D45.
Yeah, a D45. That's much smarter.
Now we want high.
Okay.
22
22
gold,
gold.
55 silver, whatever
Smack
remains
dab
copper.
in the middle for both of them.
23.
23
Copper.
copper. Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, I kind of thought he was going to say platinum then.
No.
All right,
All
got
right.
that shit on me.
This is your starting money. This is everything anyone can spare for you. What you have on your character sheets is what you have. Anything else you might need to buy from here on out.
Wait, can I
because
stock
this
up on
is-
some bullets from the town treasury before I just to
I'd like-
top myself
just
back up, you know?
Just buy some bullets.
I'd like to also ask the Armator. You said you have things. Do you think any of it would be helpful in our journey that you could spare?
I don't. The DM
shrug.
doesn't understand what you're saying. Sorry.
She said she had shit that she didn't want to give us. Sounded like she
Oh.
had physical items. I don't.
No.
Hold on. Charisma check.
No, Cedric. You're
No problem.
a wise, careful, judicious, and handsome young man. You'll find your way. I believe in you. In fact, our entire island depends on you.
True. All right.
Last, before you guys go, the mayor tells you that he has a large boat that he uses to, because he's like the primary trader with the main island, the big island. He can help arrange a trip to the big island for you at any given point, but he can't give up his boat to you. So if you want to do some like local island hopping, like around the other small islands in Fisket Lake, you're going to have to hire someone in town to take you around. But if you need to go to the big island or to a major city, he can help get you there as part of one of his regular trade runs.
On that 2 people inside your house, Mayor, who recently brought a boat, they'll no longer be needing.
I was gonna give them a talking to. And I was going to let the kids go back home. I was gonna pass them off on a good story, leave them with their boat. I didn't want to attract undue attention. But if you think it's important enough we could dig 3 graves.
I don't think it's that.
No, I'm not saying that we should kill them. I just thought maybe they'd be best off staying here for a while.
As prisoners?
We'll need to talk to them first and explain things.
Just a thought. You know what's best.
The mayor is gonna take care of it. I would
Oh.
just say let them go, and we can pay people to boat us around.
Perhaps you can.
We're gonna make friends. Well, my money's yours. We're gonna make friends.
Well, in that
We're gonna
case,
go
then
on
fine. Yeah, let's hire a
quests.
boat.
I have 140 gold, but we are going to need to do things to make money along this adventure. Again, we're gonna be gone for at least probably a year, Mayor. So
I
we're
hope you come
entrusting
back
you.
from time to time to update us and check in.
yeah,
Oh,
me
what's
too.
going
I mean,
on?
we're not too
I
far.
liked her to say, wait, we're gonna be checking in.
Yeah,
Oh,
we won't
know.
be gone.
We're gonna
thank
be
the
coming back.
gods.
Okay, good. Yeah.
We're
All right.
not. We're going to the local island. Those guys did that trip in like a day.
You can get to a lot of little local islands within a day. Not any problem at all.
Okay.
We're gonna be
yeah,
in the
we'll fine
neighborhood.
then.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
So,
there is
wait.
one island that. Oh, go ahead.
Was this the second prequel then? Like, are we now at the start of the campaign for the third time, in a way?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Well,
Well-
it's sort of like chapters in a book. You come to the end of one chapter and you come to the start of the next.
Yeah,
This
but
is
you-
the end of
but you
chapter
roll-
1 and the start of chapter 2.
Sure,
This
but
is
you
the
roll for
end of the-
starting money and character creation, don't you? So that's all. That's all I was
True.
getting at.
Okay. All right.
All right, cool. Wait, one more thing you said?
The closest island to you is the island that these people came from. It's just down the way.
We
We'll
should
get
just
to
go
it when
back
we come
with
back
them
next
then.
We
session.
should
We'll
bring
start
them
there.
home. Boom.
Yeah, we'll go back with them. Good. Sweet.
All right. Well, we'll see you all next session.
Wait,
some
XP,
more
Neil?
floating.
Adventure
XP,
guys.
XP,
Oh,
XP.
yes,
Exciting.
yes.
Give me my role play.
Everyone gets another 50 experience for the fully uncovered door and seeing it and touching it and tasting it for the first time. And
Learning the secrets of the armature and the
We unlocked some story progress.
we unlock some story prog.
yeah, let's say progress on the story will be another 100 XP. It's early
Also-
progress. It's like quest objectives stuff.
I rolled a Giga Chad funeral procession roll. I don't know if that
did.
gets me like 5 XP.
The roll was the reward in itself.
There you go.
Yeah,
no,
I feel like-
no, you gotta give me the 5. Come on, I've got this town coming together. Okay. Who made the farting noises?
That was my laughter. Thanks for making it sound like my laughter's farts.
It sounded like
Yeah,
someone
that's
was
one
like,
of Neil's biggest insecurities, asshole.
Good.
God
You know
damn,
what? He
man.
does sound like an asshole. You're right. He sounds like an asshole that's puckered and squirting out little air pockets.
All right, cut that.
And if you
Okay.
want to know what that's about, check out the pre-show.
That's right.